You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now. Or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAK Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode. Hello.
Did you? I thought I could get you.
I tried getting you earlier.
I didn't even hear it.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear it. Why am I so blown out? Not that blown out. Who's asking?
Stop blowing, dude.
Stop blowing smoke up.
Hello, everybody.
Stop.
I peaked right there.
Stop smoking blow up my ass.
Hello, and welcome to the It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 93.
Yeah. You can say, use your words. My mom.
Welcome to the It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 93. We're recording this on Tuesday, December 13th, going into the later hours of the night.
That might be my fault.
It might be mine. You will be hearing this on Friday, December 16th. And the next day will be the Drib Christmas special recording.
How you say Christmas birthday, huh?
Yes.
Happy birthday, huh?
So,
yeah, dude.
I had my last class of today. My last thing to do of the semester today. Yeah, so I guess you could say it's going pretty well. I guess you could say it's going pretty well.
Well, Gavin, before we
last week we had a special guest, Skinner, on, and if you're coming from that podcast episode, welcome. This is how a typical episode kind of runs down here.
Yeah.
Carson, what else is on the docket?
Like Gavin will say something and
we run a tight fucking ship.
Yeah, so like you normal episodes, Gavin will say something and then I won't fuck off for the rest of the episode.
And usually
for hours and hours.
Yeah.
Typically. Usually most episodes are about 4 hours long. If an episode isn't...
You're in for an entire afternoon's worth of listening.
If you open up your YouTube, your SoundCloud, your iTunes podcast, your Spotify, and notice that the episode isn't 4 hours long, we probably had a fight in the middle of it. And you're going to have to listen to it to find out.
All of it. Also, be sure to rate... I'm on a total grout fit today, so I'm sorry I'm losing my color right now.
Sorry, my head is bleeding.
Yeah. Be sure to rate and follow the podcast on all forms of social media. Be sure to like and subscribe to our Drip channel. We do occasionally put out different things other than the It Takes All Kinds podcasts.
We do.
On occasion.
That is true. And you won't get that on your audio feed, will you?
No. Those are usually videos. So subscribe to us on YouTube.
I don't think we've released anything else that I'm aware of. But yeah, thank you, Skinner, for coming on the show. And thanks for coming over if you did.
Thanks,
To reiterate,
thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.
What Gavin said.
Carson, what we got going today? We got 3 big things on the docket today.
Yeah, we're just gonna do 3 things and we're gonna get out of here.
Well, we're gonna skedaddle.
Sort of, kinda.
Yeah.
So as you can probably tell from the title, because I am gonna clickbait it, but it also is true. It's not just It's not a goddamn joke. Okay, it's not something to joke about.
I mean, the thing is that I usually do joke about it. Sorry.
I also do joke about it too, but we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be rehashing, because I love hash, love me some good hash.
I know a guy down south
named
named Donnie.
Oh, I just saw him.
Really?
When I was in Florida. Yeah,
I think you have a couple things of his.
I do. We're going to get to that
Yeah.
very soon. Brought it back a little bit of hash oil I'm going to rub on Gavin's back later.
I need it. Stress is getting to my back.
I'm going to be rehashing. The levels are just really
they're all
weird
messed
today.
up right now.
I have been gone.
You've been gone too long.
We're going to be rehashing the story of how I broke my neck literally when you're hearing this on Friday, the 16th, that'll be the 5-year anniversary of me breaking my neck.
That's
the
half a
actual
decade.
day. The actual day is Friday.
Wow.
Is the 5-year
So
anniversary.
what, you
of
broke
my-
it on like a Tuesday then? Like a Monday? Did you break it on like a Sunday?
It was actually, I
Saturday?
don't remember. It's kind of funny because it coincided with that year's Drip Christmas party. Because it was like, I went to go do what I did, which I'll talk about in a minute. I'll tell the full story. And then after, I was going to go buy stuff for the Drip Christmas party that year. But I couldn't. And we'll get to that right after this. So we're going to be rehashing that story because it's the 5-year anniversary. And I've never told anybody this story.
I think
Not even the
I have
doctor knows.
I have a basic understanding of what goes on up in that noggin of yours that
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I know a basic story of what it is, but I'm interested to basically it's an interview of you.
You got some questions over there.
Yeah,
I see
I've got
that you wrote up.
I'm loaded with questions right now.
Gavin
I'm
told
inundated
me,
with questions.
He told me before the show, he's like, I got a big load.
I got a
of
big load to
questions."
share with you, Carson.
And I said, God damn, it's been a long time
It
since
has,
you told me
yeah.
that. Since you told me those magic words.
I'll say.
But yeah, we're gonna be. It'll be nice for me too because I haven't like shared the full story like in full.
Have you talked to your therapist
detail
about
from
this? Like
tip-
about sharing the
from
with
tip to tail? I don't talk to that motherfucker anymore. From tip. No, it's not like traumatic for me.
Oh, okay. It's not like traumatic or anything.
It's not. I can't do this.
Pull out.
I haven't like told the full story from tip to tail in a long time, or like probably since it, like, you know, right after it happened. So
Yeah, whenever
it'll be nice
you came
to-
back to school the next semester
Pretty
with a
much.
broken
next
neck.
day.
The next day.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've told the story, so it'll be fun to rehash that and rehash all those fun moments throughout that. And for anybody who's like, oh, I want to know the story, I'm like, okay, you go listen to this so I don't have to talk about it again.
Yeah.
Because I'm bored of it, even though I haven't talked about it in a long time, because obviously I don't have anything that, like, unless you looked at the back of me, unless you were doing something behind me, you wouldn't be able to tell that
You were taking back
I got a
shots?
bad
Is that what you're saying?
neck. If somebody's taking back shots at me,
On you.
on me, at you, I don't know how that stuff works.
Me neither.
Then you could tell because I got a little slit back here. I have a zipper on my neck that we'll get to in a minute. And I'm not trying to be racist. That is just the truth. It looks like I have
It
a
does
zipper.
actually look like a zipper.
We'll get to that in a minute. In
What
a little
else we
bit.
got?
Because, as you may or may not know, I was in the great state of Florida, one of my favorite states. Thanks
Welcome to my house.
Thanks to Governor Ron DeSantis, one of my
Friend of
favorite
the show.
governors. Friend of the show, and soon to be president, actually, very, very soon. God, I'm just so excited. I cannot wait for the 2027 election. It's
Yeah.
going to be a hoot and a half.
Yeah.
Rhonda's, Santa's. Tell me what you think about this
Okay.
before I get to what I was going to say, because I've been thinking about this. So on the show
Tell
Office
me your
Hours,
burdens.
on the show Office Hours that I work for, Doug does he usually writes it. Sometimes people will send in stuff, but now he is the one that writes the fake ads. And I had an idea. I haven't pitched it to him yet. I've been debating if I want to or not, but maybe I'll bounce it off you and you can tell me what you actually think about it. I would have to do it now because it would not make any sense any other week, but
Do it in July.
I thought about a Christmas themed fake ad
Uh-huh.
called Rhonda's Santas.
Okay.
It's somebody named Rhonda who, like, the image, it would be like Rhonda Santas with like a wig on.
Yeah.
And it was like somebody selling Santas. What do you think?
That would be
It's
good.
called Rhonda's Santas. And then I had
you have to Photoshop him because
Oh.
he is rotund. He is
Right.
a bit of a rotund character.
With the white boots on.
Yeah. Photoshop that, but with like a red coat and
Mhm.
like do like a really shitty Santa Claus beard.
Right.
Nothing else on him.
And then I had this idea last night that I was thinking would tie into it, is that you could get, like, you know, because he always does like get 2% off at like this crazy ass website name. And then I was like, what if it was like, you know, you could get 20% off,
20 extra ballots to vote.
Something
20
like that.
extra
But
votes
like
to cast of the ballots.
you could
Yeah.
like, if you purchase one of Rhonda's Santas, you could get 20% off a purchase of a Christmas tree from Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
that's
some,
good.
like
yeah,
just high
that's good.
I don't know.
That's good.
Maybe I'll pitch it to him.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't. It was something I was
Doug.
thinking about. But speaking of Doug, if you hear this, which
If you're out there.
if you do hear this, that'd be great. But if you don't, I don't blame you. Why would you listen to this garbage? It's not garbage. Why would you say that? You're saying a lot of crazy shit over there today. You know
must
that?
think I'm fucking crazy.
So Ron DeSantis, I'm going to keep saying that. Ron DeSantis now. Ron DeSantis, he runs a great state.
Okay, so you went down
And
to
I
Florida.
went there
Yeah.
and there's a lot of things down there I love.
Where's this going, man?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out as I go, and I can't figure it out right now. I purchased a lot of snacks and stuff to bring back that we don't have around here, and some of it's stuff that you can get at like weird stores around here that like sell specialty candies, but like these are
You won't catch me dead in a store like that.
you won't catch me in a store.
You won't catch me
ever.
dead in a store.
You might catch me alive in a store, but
You know
not
who I
dead.
would catch dead in a store, Carson?
Ron DeSantis.
No.
Oh.
You're related to him.
My grandpa?
Yeah.
And it's around this time of the year that I like to think about the late great Richard Rolfe.
I'm sorry, that was just uncalled for.
No, I loved it.
Just what came to mind.
I had to act like I was depressed.
you had to play it up.
Miss you, Grandpa. I really miss you, Grandpa. Anyways, great state of Florida. I really love it down there.
Holy fuck, dude. Just move on.
I bought a lot of stuff to bring back that we're going to try because I've
There
been
we
back
go.
for quite some time now. And I hand-picked some things, some of my favorite things, some things, a few of my favorite things. Merry Christmas.
You are my favorite thing.
And then I also picked some stuff out that I've never tried before at a few different places that we'll get to very, very shortly.
Shortly.
I love Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get
Yeah.
enough of it.
That's going to be a big chunk of the show. So if you really don't like the sound of eating,
If you really don't like Florida, you're going to want to turn
you're
this
gonna
off
want
now.
to tune this out.
You're going to want to tune this out.
This is the story of how Carson broke his neck in Florida. Florida Blake snapped his neck down there.
He did.
Snapped your neck, not his own neck.
Because I pissed him off.
Yeah, you pissed him off on the EV truck
I peed in his bed.
in his bed of his truck.
Right, exactly. Well, he's got a pump cover in it, so it's gonna be fine. Fuck. I'm not gonna be able to get through anything
No,
today. I
you
can
won't.
already tell. I'm gonna try my best, but
I don't even have the doc pulled up, so you got to keep going, man.
where do I even begin?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Gavin, so you, like you mentioned, you just finished up this semester, my friend.
So you're looking at a future pharmacist here.
Well, don't you have a little bit longer?
Yeah, I do, but
Or
I'm
wait,
just saying
did this
that
just finish something?
this finished. No, it didn't finish anything.
Okay.
It's finished the first semester of our P2 year, which is like the first official year of like pharmacy school, and it's
Right.
it's not easy.
Really?
Yeah,
I've heard different.
I've heard differently.
I've had a few conversations recently.
Yeah, so finals have been going well. Our
they're
finals
done.
have went well.
Right.
I did the best I've ever done in that class on the final on one of my classes for biopharm.
Nice.
And did as about average score for the exam on the cardio final, and then today I think the professor's actually going in and changing the grades right now because he like hid the grades.
Because you paid him some money to change it.
Yeah, I put him under the table. Put the money under the table. He took it. Big econ guy. That man is.
Put some money under the table and nobody gets hurt.
Yeah. So I think he's putting in the grades. Okay. I got an 84 on it, so that's good.
Damn, that's awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, I got a 93 on the last one, so that's one will do,
Well.
I guess.
You passed, so.
Yeah, that's good. So I'll take it.
So now you know. Now you're good.
Now I'm done.
Now you know you're good.
Yeah, no, I know I'm good.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm all
That's
done
good,
for the
man.
semester. I don't have anything else to worry about. Just working most of the break, so you're just gonna be hearing any boring work stories.
Are you
Last Thursday I worked a 12-hour shift.
Right.
And that was the most boring thing I've ever done in my life. I have never been that bored before. Because I like was in and out of the IB room. So like I was in the IB room from like 5 to like probably midnight ish. I went for lunch for like 30 minutes and then went out to like, and then came out and I was like, I am really bored. And so I was just chatting up to the night pharmacist, and he was a student, and you know, just hearing his stories about pharmacy school and whatnot, and what his experience is like as a pharmacist. And that we literally only had like maybe 5 doses from the hours of like 12 a.m. to 5 a.m., which is nice, which is good.
So what do you do?
I literally, so like I was sitting outside the IB room till like 2 a.m. I was outside the IB room for like 2 hours.
Jesus.
Why
Why did they need?
they just need coverage.
Okay.
Like it's like they just need, like I think almost basically by law they need to have someone
Okay.
like in the hospital able to make IVs, like
JSC.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah. Or Joint Commission wants it that way, or you know, whatever. That's like the governmental body of hospitals, if for anybody wondering.
Sounds like a snooze fest.
Yeah, I know. And it was just like I don't have anything else to do, and I got a coffee at like 1:40, and I was like,
A Starbucks.
yeah, it was
so
a
it's
Starbucks
fake
coffee. Yeah, it was a really really coffee.
Sugar.
Creamer. And I came back and I'm like, hopefully something will be printed off, because it prints off in the IV room and then a copy for the pharmacist to like know that we're supposed to be making it.
Turns out the printer was jammed.
no,
and there was backward 50
50
things.
No, but there was like not that much. Nothing printed off by the time I got back, but he was like working on, you know, verifying this order, and was like, this is probably the only thing that we're going to have to make tonight. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I'll probably just send through everything that we need until you're gone. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. And I finished all the stuff that I needed in 15 minutes. So I just sat there and back there and just like watched YouTube videos.
Do you get paid extra for working that?
Yeah, I get paid. There's like the nighttime differential, and then they paid me $75 extra.
Oh, nice.
So it's just nice, just a little bonus for working it. Because I have never worked a 12-hour shift, and I don't know how some people do. I mean, I don't know how some people do it. They do it only for 7 days at a time, but it's still like 7 days in a row is like a lot of time just to like dedicate. And it's like 8:30 to 7. You know, it's like a long shift, 7 days in a row. So
I've worked.
Props to the people who do night shift stuff.
Right. I've worked a 13 or 14 hour, 13.
I mean, I've worked a 12-hour shift before. I worked
you have?
worked like a 12-hour shift at Cane's. Like I worked 2 to 2.
That'd be rough.
Really boring.
Yeah.
Again, it was just take it back. I think that night there was like a concert, so like it was really you know up popping around like 10:30, and then it was like it was like just a ghost town after that.
Did the guy? I'm assuming that guy at the pharmacy had worked many of those shifts.
Oh yeah. No,
did he say it ever gets wild?
Yeah,
at
some
times?
one of the other techs who was back there during during the normal like 5 to 10:30 shift that I work, or like 4 to 10:30 shift I work on Thursdays. He said that like if there's more than one patient that's not doing well or dying, or someone comes in the emergency department, it does get pretty crazy at night. But if it's like if every patient's stable, there's nothing going on, all the patients are asleep, they're getting their nighttime meds, it's really not that like much, because then you just slow down the infusion to like
and that's when you guys start busting out the K bags and doing crazy stuff,
doing crazy shit down there. So
infusions.
It was
fun.
it was an experience.
Yeah,
but
that's why I was curious. I was like,
it was an experience.
I didn't know you were doing it, because obviously it was spur of the moment.
Yeah, and it was just like after the day, and I'm like, I don't have anything else to do. Like I'm not gonna say no and then be like, oh, I'd probably be up till 5 a.m. playing video games at night anyway. So like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
Whatever. Wasn't that bad.
Whatever.
Wasn't that bad, and I got paid for it, so it wasn't like I was volunteering.
That's all that matters.
And also, it's like nobody could get mad at me because I like volunteered my time to do it in the first place. So it's like, you know, I win.
Right. Did you say I think you already told me this, and apologize for me asking again, but did you say you're working during the week over break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working maximum 5 shifts a week. Better than 6 over summer break.
Right.
That was not fun.
Right.
And yeah, so really not that bad. I am working Christmas Day
And Christmas Eve.
But
Because of the Drib Christmas party.
because of the Drip
Sorry.
Christmas party. But that's not a big deal.
That
to
was
me.
your choice, not mine.
I mean, it was my fault too. I should have said something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should have said something earlier. But
You're really fucking crazy
I'm
for doing
really
it.
behind. I know. You must think I'm really fucking crazy. So it's an experience. I enjoy the people that I work with.
Nice.
So
Yeah. I wanted to talk more about the Drip Christmas party, but I think we'll wait till next week for that. And then we can kind of like, for anybody who's new, we can kind of explain a little bit more what it is, since we'll have it fresh in our brains.
we just do an annual Christmas party.
Yeah, we do. I think I figured out the best way to explain it. And the Drip Christmas party is just a fucked up Christmas party where we do fucked up things, and it's a lot of fun.
Go watch last year's. This is where we had the introduction to this
Of the GIMP mask.
of the GIMP mask.
I call
for
him
those
Gimpy.
audio viewers. And then we got the Britney Spears blacked out photo, the construction
All of
set.
that stuff up
Basically,
there,
all
pretty
that stuff
much.
up there was from
all of the Christmas cards, yada yada. But yeah, well, let's talk about that more next week. That'd be
Yeah.
fun. But you
Just a quick intro on that.
You had me thinking about how I wanted to talk about that because I'm so amped up for.
So we can
this
finally
year.
say fucked up.
We can say fucked up. We can say a lot of fucked up things right now.
Oh my God!
No, that's great, man. I'm glad you're done.
Yeah.
And
Feeling on cloud 9 right now, brother.
I'm sure you're just excited to get back on the work grind.
Yeah, I mean it gives me purpose.
Right. This show doesn't give you purpose.
No, it does. Weekly.
That sounds like a bunch
But like now,
Sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
it's like it would be the first thing on my list rather than the second thing.
Right. Did you just get a cold real quick and then it went away?
I had chicken stroganoff for dinner tonight. Shout out, mom.
Shout out, Mom. I didn't get any.
It was sorry.
Kinda
it
weird.
is very smelly. I didn't want to like blow that on you, or the viewers, or the listeners. Sorry.
Wish I heard that more often. No, man, I'm happy for you.
So how have you been?
Well,
I'm actually asking you how you've
Thank
been.
you. I've been really good, man. I've been able to like kind of sit back and just like do things and get
You
things
picked up a wedding
done.
shift the same night that I picked up my
Not
12
a
hour.
wedding.
You picked up a shoot that same night.
I picked up a
The
shoot.
same night that I worked the 12-hour shift.
I was gonna.
Hey!
Damn it! I'll have to tell you this after because I think it's too inappropriate to
Yeah,
share on the show.
It's
but,
okay.
Um,
You should have said it before. You fucked
I
up.
just thought about it now. What do you want me to do?
Run it back.
I'm calling Ron DeSantis. I love Florida. Yeah, no, I picked up a shoot that night, which was fine. Nothing special there. But Gavin,
Worked a pretty high-profile wedding.
I wouldn't say high profile.
What?
It was for the King of England.
King of England.
Was
Was he marrying like a 17-year-old or something? What was going on there?
No.
No.
The couple was fine.
Okay.
They were very nice. They were very nice. They were very nice. They were very nice, and they were also very nice.
One more thing. They were very nice.
They were very nice, and their names are So if you guys don't know, one of my many jobs I hold so well, and
He's a
haven't
side
lost.
hustler.
Never been fired. I got a lot of side hustles going on, a lot of drop shipping happening.
I got 5 websites I'm running right now. I'm making $5 million a month.
It's got a whole sweatshop.
Yeah.
Anyways, I film weddings. I do a lot of weddings, and I'll do corporate stuff for them too, which is what I did last Thursday. But predominantly, this company.
He's a corporate show for this company.
I'm a corporate.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I'm a corporate slut. I love Disney and Coca-Cola. Love it all. Love Florida. God, I love Florida. So
Ain't nothing like.
nothing
quite like.
God, you're.
Sorry.
I'm gonna shed a
Sorry.
tear.
I digress.
You're gonna make me cry. I film a lot of weddings. I film and of ranging. Careful.
Blue collar weddings.
A lot. It's mostly blue collar weddings. It's mostly typical blue collar weddings.
Typical blue.
I forgot all about that.
That's
until just now.
that's a running gag. Also,
That's a callback.
That was like first couple episodes. He's really big on these wedding things, and we've just decided that any normal wedding is just
Right.
a typical blue collar wedding.
I can't remember who said it, but yeah, that's such a good bit that I completely forgot about.
Typical blue. Most of them are typical blue.
Most of them are typical blue collar weddings, but sometimes there's those white collar, high top,
highbrow
high top,
humor.
low shoe,
Yeah.
corner store, big time weddings, big top peewee, and then sometimes there's some that you could tell that they're budgeting hard, which is good. I respect that. Like,
Respect the grind.
respect the fucking format. And
Planning
have a
wedding is
blue-collar
fucking-
wedding.
Planning a wedding sounds fucking hell.
Sounds like a nightmare.
That sounds like
And
an
that's-
absolute fucking nightmare.
And that's why, if I am ever to be lucky enough to get married, I'm going to start crying again. If I'm ever goddamn lucky enough to get married, but recently I've adopted to the MGTOW life, I
all right.
would like...
Sorry.
Oh,
They
it's
wouldn't stop laughing. The
I'm going
crowd.
to tell them to shut up. I'm talking. Do they want me to talk about Florida again? Ships are coming into port.
Yeah.
Fuck. What was I just saying? God damn it! I had something and I lost it. But I was thinking that like if I'm ever lucky enough to get married, that I would like to have my wedding be like very low key. I wouldn't want to spend any money on it. Like, you know, just like the people who I want there, lots of food and alcohol, and just like make it a big party and like
there it is, the gay ball.
not really have to have it somewhere like super expensive or whatever. So I've always thought about that, and that's why I've always respected like weddings that aren't that you can tell that they're not spending a ton of money on it. Well, and that was one of those weddings this weekend. And if you're anybody from my company listening, no, I'm not going to say names. No, I'm not going to get specific about anybody or anything. Keep it all as a
Vague.
There's another word I was trying to say, but I couldn't figure it out. But I keep it very vague. I'm not going to release anything. Nobody from there knows I have a podcast. Nobody from the wedding knows I have a podcast, so it's not like they're going to get back to you and be like, well, I heard about this. Couple was great. They
People
were
talk
really
about
great.
weddings forever.
Right.
I mean, you always hear about different weddings. So
Right. I'm
you
just covering my bases real quick, but, you know, whatever. Anyways.
he's got
that-
HIPAA laws to violate.
I got a hippo. I got a hippo law I'm working on. So
HIPAA law form.
they send out like a thing at the beginning of the week that's like
Here's what's
where
on the
yeah,
docket.
here's where you're going, here's what you're doing, here's
Here's
any
your
specifics and stuff like that.
Here's your assignment.
And like the hotel location where they're getting
Bravo
ready
6.
was just like a random hotel, and so I was like, okay. And
Brewery Inn Hotel,
pretty
fucking
much the location. Location is
Holiday Inn,
and
Hotel Motel 8, Hotel Motel 8, Hotel Moto.
love that band. And then the place where they had the ceremony and reception, I never heard of and no one had ever been to. And so I'm like, let me look this place up. And I was like, oh no, this looks like a dump. And
Oh,
Gavin,
Dang it, I didn't have it ready. God damn it.
it was it looked like a somewhere that was created in the 50s as like the sock hop kind of setup. Very bizarre. And
that sock house were fucking huge in the 50s.
right. And I looked at that and I was like, I know how this place is going to smell. I just know how it's going to
Cigarettes.
smell. Anyways, day gets started out. I'm the person who I'm working with. I've only worked with one other time. And he's fine. Like I don't really have any like specific opinions on him. Not that I would share those anyways, but
Nondescript white guy.
yeah, well, yeah. And I hadn't heard. Usually, whenever they send out these emails, the lead, which is what I usually am, will be like, "Let's meet up at this time. Let's do this. Yada yada." Okay, and then the person responds, "Okay, that sounds good."
However, you
This-
weren't on the lead.
Right? No, I was.
You were the lead on this.
I was the lead, and so him as the assistant, or this person as the assistant, didn't respond, which was. I didn't take as like a red flag because most people respond, but I've had people not respond
And still show up.
and then still show up. And so that was just, I was just like, whatever. I'm not really expecting. I like had a weird inkling that something was going to happen, but I was like, I don't know. And so I was like, whatever. So I started earlier than this person. I started a couple hours earlier. Go to the hotel. Film the girls getting ready because it was like a couple hours, yada yada, and then we were gonna be at this dump, just to say it
Don't have it ready.
for for the rest of the day, and then that's where my assistant was supposed to meet me at. So he was supposed to already have been there for like 30 minutes by the time before I had gotten there. And so I texted him that morning, telling him, giving him some info. I texted him later on and said, could you restart the camera for me?
Oh, yeah.
I texted him later on and said, let me know when you get there. And then I texted him another thing and like nothing from him. And like I even confirmed with a few people, I'm like, do I have the right phone number? And so I get there.
Please tell me I'm not crazy.
I get there and I ask a bunch of people, have you seen this man? And everybody's like, no, we haven't seen him. And I'm like, all right, no show. Great. This will be interesting. And so I immediately called one of the head people there who happened to be out on a shoot. And of course, they were in the middle of filming a ceremony. So they're at a church and had to pick up my phone call. And I felt really bad. And then so like they ended up having to send somebody else over to film the wedding with me in the middle of the church.
Yeah,
this
in
was
the
going
middle
on.
of church.
And then they came over, and I love the person who I ended up working with. He's great. And so he was with me the rest of the day. Whatever. That's not super important, but that just like set off like it just like catapulting into a really weird day. And then so like before all that happened, like walking into this place, it just like stale cigarettes and stale alcohol. Like it was just like this. It was such a dump. Like it was just a dump. It was terrible. I was like, why would you choose this place? It was just so bizarre. It was just like this weird venue.
Hold on.
It was so weird.
This whole operation was your idea.
That's true. Well, it was. And
You weren't supposed to do that.
whenever I pulled into, they had like a parking lot for guests or vendors or whatever. And when I pulled up, there's a security guard working there because it was downtown St. Louis. And the guy's like, I was like, oh, I'm here for this place for the wedding. Can I park here? And he was just like, yeah. And then so I park and I get out.
He's like, hey, bud, you gonna park right there?
You gonna park there? And so
As soon as you get out of the car.
I get out of the car and he was just like very awkward. He was an older guy.
He
was just
handcuffed you.
he
and
handcuffed me
he
and
led you in.
and let me in and then let me go and then took the blindfold off.
Yeah.
Um,
Very weird wedding.
he was just like this older guy, and I don't even remember what got the conversation started with him, but
You're like, so you be here
so
often?
you come here often. I think I was like, oh man, like, hope you're staying warm out here or something like that, because it was pretty cold. And he was like, oh yeah, he had like definitely no teeth really at all. So he was like, probably like this. He's like, oh yeah, I worked in Alaska for a couple of years. I was like, what'd you do there? And he was like, oh, I was a sailor. He's like, I had to fight off bears and moose and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. And he goes, and he's just like staring at me. And then I just like turn around and I go, what the fuck? And I start getting stuff out of my car. No, literally, I was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, I start getting stuff out of my car. And then like, so that was kind of weird, right? And then that was whatever. And then like, probably a few words exchanged there. I didn't write specific things he said down, but, so then I like leave later and like have some more back and forth with him. And then I come back or before I left, I had noticed that some of the groomsmen were talking to him. And at first I was like, I don't know if he was drinking it or if he was just holding it to throw it away. But he had a White Claw in his hand when I came out later to go do photos with them.
And you invited the security guard
I
over.
said, why don't you come with
Yeah.
us?
I'm sorry. Is this guy bothering you? You like came up to the bachelor party
Yeah.
like that?
Is this guy bothering you at all?
Yeah,
Do I
sorry.
need to take care of him? And so, anyways, I saw that and I was like, that's interesting. So I left and I came back, pulled in there, and again, we had a couple back and forth, whatever. I go back inside.
You pull him in. You pull him aside.
I
you
pull
go,
him aside.
"You
I
need your
handcuff
fucking
him.
act together.
I say, get it together, dude. And then, so anyways, just a weird wedding. And again, everybody was very nice, but it was just
It's
like
a nice day for a weird wedding.
for a blue collar wedding.
blue wedding.
But it was just like the whole
Typical
day was
blue-collar
just
wedding.
like everything was very bizarre. Like the people who were running the place were really weird, and like were even like acting out of date and like talking about like 8x10 photographs that we were going to be selling or something.
You guys gonna be selling those in black and white or
right.
color?
It was stuff like that to the photographers, not me, but we're good pals with the photographers. But
you guys dap them up. And
we
shit.
dap them up. It's crazy. And then the guys
You
who were
invited
working
the security guard to come on.
right onto the shoot.
Onto the shoot.
I said, "Could you film for me? I gotta go.
I
to
gotta
the
go to the
bathroom."
bathroom real quick. And he's
how
adjusting the
do we do this thing here? And then the other weird thing is like the people who are running the sound and the lights, who were like also the DJ, were like definitely like 16 years old. And so like they were just like super inexperienced, and like when the ceremony started, they like couldn't figure out the right light cue. So it's just like these lights just kept flashing to like disco ball to this to like this all red lights. It was just like a weird fucking day. But for like some reason, despite all of this shit happening, I was in like the best mood. I don't know what was going on that day, but I was like, I don't fucking care. I'm like, I'm just having fun. Who cares? Like, and I was also like, I could tell that they like definitely prioritize a lot of their money to have us come on and film their wedding. And like whenever I see that, I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I like, I do a really fucking
And they
good
also
job
probably had a
because,
lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
and it
that's-
was a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of things were very weird about the whole night. But anytime I can just tell that like they definitely spent their own money and really wanted us on there. Like I always work hard on every single wedding. And I always do my best, but like those ones,
But if it's a
especially,
typical
like,
blue collar wedding, then
I'm gonna do the same goddamn thing.
yeah.
No, I was kidding. But like on those ones, like I feel like I don't know. There's something in me that's like, yeah, I want to make sure I give you something
a
really
little
good.
bit more genuine.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's just more meaningful. Like I shoot just as
The same stuff, but it would be
well.
yeah.
I shoot just as like I work just as hard as every single wedding. But like you said, it's more meaningful on like those ones where there's like an actual connection with the people.
And then they also like the only reason why I'm saying this is because they paid him like $150 under the table.
they paid me off.
Yeah.
The security guard paid me off.
Yeah,
So night wraps up.
they allowed him
And-
to drink.
Well, me and my second, who I'll just say his name, Alex. Shout out Alex. He's really cool. I don't think he would mind me telling this. It's not like he did anything wrong. He's a very funny, cool guy too.
Very funny, cool guys.
Very funny, cool guy. And so we leave the venue and we wanted to say goodbye to the photographers, but we thought they had already left. So we were like, okay, let's chill in the parking lot for a few and see if they come out. We had a couple J's. No, I'm just kidding. And so put everything in the car and the security guard walks over to us. And I'm like, here we go. Because I don't think Alex had really had a conversation with him. And I had told him when he came in, I'm like, did you meet the weird security guard? He was like, oh yeah, he was fine. I was like, oh, you didn't have a conversation with the guy, did you?
You haven't met him yet.
Oh, yeah, it's just getting started.
You have no idea.
And let me say, it did just get started. So he comes over and he's bullshitting with us about whatever.
But you
And-
guys like the wedding, or
What? Oh yeah, he was like,
you have fun tonight?
you guys get any girls from there? And we're like, we're both like, no, we're just working, yada yada. And this whole time he like is very obviously holding a bottle of something in his hand, but he's like hiding the label. And he goes, I think that might have been the first thing after he asked us if we found any girls.
Root
was
beer.
like, no, he's like, oh, I'm just drinking Mountain Dew. We didn't even ask him about what he was drinking. He's just like, oh, I'm drinking Mountain Dew. And I was like, I
in
believed,
a brown bottle.
no, it was green.
Oh, okay.
I'll get to it in a minute.
Okay.
And I believed him at first. I was like, oh yeah, okay. And then Alex instantly knew.
Rips off
Right.
the label.
Alex instantly knew that he was just like doing a cover up. And then I realized, oh, he is, because he thought he could tell I thought he was being serious. Because then he's like, and then he like kept turning the label to finally show me it was a Heineken bottle. And I was like, and then like at that point,
clueless bastard.
right. Well, at that point I had known. It was like when he first said it, I believed him. And then after that, I was like, I've never seen a Mountain Dew bottle. Like, yeah, he was literally doing that. He was like twisting it. And then until I was like, finally just like showed me the lip.
You're like, oh, look, there
I
it
was
is.
like,
He's drinking. Oh my god.
I was like, oh my God.
You're over
you got
21,
me,
right?
dude.
You're over.
He's like 70 years old.
Dude, this guy's gotta be over 21.
And so he just kept talking about that. And then he's like, well, don't tell the people that the name of this location, because like they don't like me drinking on the job.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
And we
You're
were like,
security.
yeah. And I was like, I don't know. I just remember saying like, well, I don't know what you're talking about, man, because you're just drinking Mountain Dew. We're just out here and you're just having a Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
And he was like, he like every time he would like not talk when he was supposed to, so he would just sit there and smile and go like, and he just had this like weird smile that was so funny to me. And then he starts asking us about meeting girls and stuff like that at the place, and he's like, "Oh, I would be meeting girls all the time," and then he's like, you know, back in the Army, when I was on the Navy ship in Alaska, we'd be talking to girls. And then I'm like, on the ship, I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what girls would you be talking to? That's literally what I asked him.
It was a rotating, cast up there of girrs.
But there was, where were they from? They're on a boat. There was no girls. There was all dudes.
No, they drop girls off, pick them back up. It was the same thing they do with hotel rooms now.
He didn't give, whenever I brought that up, he like changed the subject because I think he was like, oh. And then he's like,
actually, it wasn't girls, it was other men.
But they look like girls.
Yeah, but
they have those now these days, if you can believe that. He didn't say that. And then he did say that they were talking to girls on the boat, which I was like, I was instantly like, how? What do you mean?
Weren't you a sailor?
Right. Well, that's the thing, is he's a sailor. He said that on the boat. Then he brings up this whole thing. He's like, we'd be playing tic-tac-toe. You know what tic-tac-toe is?
No, sir.
And he's like, oh, fuck, how did he explain? It was like the craziest explanation I'd ever heard.
So it was like,
no, he was like, tic-tac-toe, it's all numbers. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he like somehow told us that tic-tac-toe means picking up people's numbers. Because he's like, eventually at some point, either before or after he explained to us what tic-tac-toe was, which I can't wrap my head around how tic-tac-toe means picking up girls' numbers.
I've never heard of tic-tac-toe in my fucking life.
And
please explain it.
At some
One
point,
more time for me.
At some point, he was like, yeah, sometimes I'll go out to the bars and play tic-tac-toe. And he's like, but he's married. He's married. And he still goes out and plays tic-tac-toe.
What the fuck does that mean?
Picking up girls' numbers.
Oh, okay.
Somehow tic-tac-toe means picking up girls' numbers. And he explained it to us, and I understood it in the moment. Now I couldn't even begin to tell you what it means.
Different universe.
So he's like, I go out and I pick up girls' numbers, playing tic-tac-toe. And he's like, you know why? And then Alex goes, because you're a bad husband? And I was like, oh, no. I was like, he just set him off, didn't he? And then he just sits there and he like thinks for a minute, and then he goes, no, I was in the Army. Like, we could do it's different. And then that's when he brought up that we play tic-tac-toe in the Army.
The Army, is it?
But when Alex said that, I was like, it was hilarious, but I was also like, oh, dude.
No.
I'm like, it was one of those moments where I was like, fuck, why did you say that? Because I'm like, I can't do confrontation.
Yeah.
But like in that moment, I realized I'm like, fuck, I just got to start saying stuff like that to people. Just like, out of left field, because it's
especially when are you ever gonna see this other guy again?
Well, right, and that's the thing is like after that I like thought about that more because I was just like that was so funny and like I was like I want to be able to do stuff like
I want to be like that.
I want to say things like that, and I was like
that'll get you in a lot of Larry David moments,
right? And I thought about it in the car, and I'm like because like I said, I'm so afraid of confrontation, but I was like the thing is that most people are pussies.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not going to do anything or even probably even understand what you're even saying to begin with. And so
you can just be like, oh, no, it's okay.
Right. Or you can just be like, oh, I was just joking or whatever.
Yeah. They'd be like, what'd you say? And be like, nah, I was just kidding.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But so Alex said that, and that made me laugh so hard. And then
the security guard put his hand on his taser.
He pulled his gun out and started firing it off. But
you guys want to see something cool?
You guys want to play tic-tac-toe with your feet? But that was pretty much the gist of it. And we talked to him for a while, and then Alex was going to a party, and he was like, oh, and then the other thing is like while he was talking to me, Alex like gets really close to him and like look like is trying to find his name tag, and then so he's like getting really close to him and looking for his name tag, and he finally finds it. I forgot what his name is, but he's like, well, blah blah blah, I'm gonna go up to this party and bring some girls back for us. How does that sound? He's like, oh, okay, that's good. And he's like, I'll see you later. He like shakes Alex's hand, but not mine, because I wasn't playing tic-tac-toe with him.
Yeah,
but
you weren't on the same wavelength at all.
Right. I wish I could
considering
remember.
You didn't even know they was drinking Heineken.
I didn't. I thought it was Mountain Dew. I don't know what you're talking about. He was drinking
It was
Mountain
Mountain
Dew.
Dew.
But he had to have been drinking all day because that White Claw was like so long ago whenever he had that. But yeah, this guy was great. I like I said, I wish I could remember everything he said verbatim because it was just like just quite a character.
We gotta go Channel 5 News down there.
Channel
like that.
5 News. We're here with
No, like the Channel 5 or the 5.
Oh yeah.
Like
All
do
gas,
that.
no breaks.
Or
They're now Channel 5.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought.
We'll just steal their format. It'll be fine. We can.
Yeah.
Hey, we can get an HBO show. I know the guy who's producing it.
That's true. So what else do we got going?
So that was my weekend.
Crazy weekend.
I'm glad you found it as funny as I did.
That's pretty. I can't lie. That's pretty fucking hilarious.
It was. Yeah. Like I said,
because I remember you texted me and you're like this. I have an awesome thing to talk about.
Right. And like the other things, I was more excited about in the moment, but it's just like hard to convey.
Yeah.
This kind of place without being like super specific about everything, but it was crazy. Anyways, shall we get almost an hour in? Shall we get into our taste tests?
Yeah, let's do it.
Dish. You gonna shoot me? Do you need to go?
No.
Wait, are you doing something that I need to be present for? Or
No,
can I set this up?
I'm just looking up to see if this was the place.
Oh. No, let me look it up for you. Yeah, I should have done that. I should have done that before so I could.
I was just curious because I was just picturing something like that.
I don't know that place, but it's probably a lot like this place. Hold on. And the place we're talking about is, fuck, I clicked on the wrong thing. Nope, that's definitely not it. Okay. And it's super funny because all their pictures are so old too. Oh, it's just such a dingy ass place, man. I don't know. This is a pretty good picture. You can scroll through and look through some of it. And the other thing is that like there was one spot of the place that smelled like dog shit all night. And I could never find where it was coming from, but it was just this one area.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was like
I think I know where this is.
Everything was like gross and the tiles were all ripped up and out of color. The paint was chipped. Like they had like these rooms that were definitely like sex rooms back in the day. And it was like, and the guy even kind of looked like Ron Jeremy, the now excommunicated porn star. It was just weird, man. What a time. All right, man. So you can keep looking at those while I get these treats. I'm gonna reach down for it. So I got a bag of treats right here. And like Gavin said, we're gonna chew off Mike. But if you're really fucking weird about that for some reason, you can just fuck off for a little while, okay? And let us have some fun.
Oh no, I don't know where this is.
Yeah,
It is in a weird spot.
It's in
the middle place. That's what I'm just gonna call it.
It's in a questionable,
Yeah.
somewhat questionable area. Not as questionable as I expected.
Not as
actually.
questionable as my pharmacy that I worked at over the summer.
Probably. I never went there.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So this is where the ballroom is, right?
The place.
The place. Sorry,
That's fine.
censor that.
No, it doesn't matter.
Um.
Fuck. I'm just trying to make room. I'm probably not gonna be able to understand the conjunction of
Yeah, I know.
where the areas are, just to be completely honest. That part of my brain don't work too well. That part of my brain broke a few years ago.
Like if you thought like, okay, so this is where the place I worked over the summer. So like it was even more
south,
south than that.
Yeah, that area is really weird.
It is weird. Anyway,
so I guess we'll start with some drinks first. So I got some adult beverages for Gavin and I to try. I've obviously already tried these are ones I have already tried, but they're from this brewery that we went to and we had gone to last time called Florida Keys Brewing Company. And it is where I discovered my favorite beer ever, which is this beer,
Kolsch.
Iguana Bait. It's a Kolsch-style ale brewed with hibiscus and local honey.
Wow.
It is still my favorite beer
Does it taste like
ever.
tea?
No.
Okay.
No. It tastes like a goddamn dream. No, it became my favorite beer then, and it still has to this day, but you cannot get it around here. You can only get it down in Florida, which I love Florida so much. And
You got to call Ron DeSantis.
I brought back a few for us to try. And then they just recently started canning my favorite sour, which is the hibiscus and guava Pucker Power.
Can you say that in
Pookie
2022?
Power. And they did not have it on tap when we went there. And I will say it's better on tap than it is in the can, but we'll still try that. So we're going to try those two beers first. Oh, shit.
What else we got?
We'll go through everything else. Let's start with the beers first. We'll start with my favorite right here. And then we'll get into the Pookie Power later.
Pookie Power.
Uh-oh, don't. I did smuggle these on the airplane in my butt cheeks. No, you're allowed to bring alcohol. You're allowed to bring alcohol in checked bags. So we'll start out with a little taste. I only have a few of these, so I'm trying to keep them.
Yeah.
Trying to keep the open ones.
Okay.
It smells like Florida. You know how much I love Florida. Mm. It's good, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
It's all right.
Mm. You know when you're like, you go to chug something, but you definitely weren't ready to chug something, and then it gets caught?
Yeah.
That's the worst. Well, I guess we'll go and open
this
up.
kind of tastes like a cider I've had.
A cider?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you like it? Be honest.
It's
You
good.
can tell me
It-
if you're like,
no,
this is
I
gross.
would drink this. This is something that I would drink. If someone were to
It's-
offer this, I'd probably drink it.
It truly is my favorite beer, and I wish I could have brought back more, but
We're also
only
over
so much
21.
of it. Oh yeah, in case you didn't know,
In case you didn't know, I just recently turned 23. So
I recently turned 21.
I'm in the later years of my life.
Gavin is going downhill fast.
Yeah.
Now this one, like I said, it's better on tap. It's kind of a little bit funky in the can.
Ooh.
I know. It's a little.
It's got a funk to it.
Yeah, I didn't smell it whenever I had it last time, but it is a little funky.
Yeah, that's a yeah. Oof. That tastes like you've skunked that.
Yeah, it is a little funkier than I remembered. Like I said, this is good, but way better on tap. This is a little
It's
bit
probably
too funky
really
for me.
fucking cold there too. Like, you know what I mean? Like on tap.
Mm-hmm.
Go
It
ahead.
actually doesn't get that cold in Florida.
Yeah,
but
no,
yeah,
this
it's fine. It's
no,
a
this tastes
that's
like
fine.
this tastes like feet.
Yeah, it's a little.
I don't know what feet taste like, but this is probably what feet taste like.
It's a little funky. Here, you can have the rest of this one, and I'll house this bad boy off. You can take the iguana bait. Shout out Florida Keys Brewing Company.
This is
You
like
make my favorite beer.
this is like in between, in my opinion, like IPA and
That is.
yeah, IPA and cider. This is like in between the two.
Whoa. What's the alcohol content on it?
5.1.
Oh, okay. So pretty average.
Yeah, I'm used to actually pretty high. I'm actually I'm a stout drinker.
All right. Way to just throw that out there.
I like your
I
brother
like
works
I
for
like you too.
Yeah. I like your brother. Not you. No. Your brother works at this brewing company that makes a really good stout that I had, and it was the heaviest, most.
Well, he makes the flavor for it.
he makes the
doesn't-
flavor for it.
He has nothing to do with the company.
Yeah. Well, it was a very strong stout. I'll say that much, and it was good flavor, very good flavor.
Mm.
It was just, oh my god, it felt like a brick hit my stomach.
You ever had a brick hit your stomach?
Ever drank a whole bottle of syrup in one sitting?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have. So next up, we have my favorite goddamn salty treat that you can find all over the world, but like I've never been able to find it anywhere around here.
Where the fuck are these?
And I've looked everywhere, and I've looked like I think I can buy them online. I finally figured out where to buy them, but every time they're everywhere in Florida, especially in the Keys. Like every day I would wake up, and Blake lives really close, not to geolocate him. Blake lives really close to a 7-Eleven.
Oh, that got him. I know exactly where he lives now.
And I would walk there every single day. And this 7-Eleven was fucking crazy, dude.
It was like fucking yoked.
You'd walk in, it would be like,
it was jacked.
And there'd be a rave. But they would always have like food there, like snacks you could buy. So I'd buy snacks, and I'd always get a bag.
Did you get a
Frosty?
I was gonna say a Frosty, but
Slurpee.
It's Slurpee.
Slurpee.
Did you get a Slurpee?
And I would always get a bag of Tostones plantain chips.
Patacones.
Thick and crunchy plantain chips. Tostones.
Patacones.
I don't know what that means. I don't
the
think you
middle
can say that in 23.
In the middle.
I don't know this brand. I haven't had this brand yet. I had another brand that you can get at 7-Eleven. But have you ever had plantain chips before?
No.
Okay.
I have never had a plantain, I don't think.
Regular plantain chips are good, but they're not. These are like so
gourmet.
A regular Lay's chip, right? You know, a regular Lay's chip.
Uh-huh.
It's a little crunchy. It's softer.
Yeah.
And then you have a kettle cooked chip. It's like crazy crunchy. This is like the kettle cooked version of a plantain chip. They're fucking crazy.
They're fucking yoked.
Ooh,
They're fucking yak.
Yeah, I will. These do look a little. No, these look about. Yeah, these look right. So take one of those. So plantain is in the banana family, and a banana is. And these are just regular salted. There's like garlicky ones and lemony ones that are really good, but these are, I think, just salted.
They look like a hash brown.
They're not as salty as I would like them to be.
Yeah, I need a little bit more salt. But
I fucking love them. You don't have to love them.
no, I don't like these.
At all?
No.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Bored me.
These literally just taste like a hash brown to me.
What's wrong with that?
Hash browns are boring. They need a lot more salt.
I don't. You know what, man?
Like the only good hash brown,
Okay.
where it's not like a McDonald's one where it's fried and shit like that. It's like raw from the bag, put out onto the grill, and just shoved back onto your diner plate. That's what that tastes like.
I
With
don't.
no salt.
I don't like those kind of hash browns.
No, me neither.
I only like the
I only like
McDonald's
McDonald's.
ones. I don't know what it is. I love fried. Well, I don't really like fried potatoes either, to be honest. I like French fries, but I don't know. Fried potatoes make me like feel gross.
Really?
Too greasy for me.
Not even the potato wedges?
No, I like those, but
Okay.
like, you know, cut up a bunch of potatoes, put oil in a pan, and fry them in there like that. Just shallow fry. I don't like that. It's too
Yeah.
greasy.
I don't like those because it tastes too raw.
Raw.
It tastes like
it's really hard to cook them like that.
Yeah, it tastes raw to me whenever someone makes like potatoes like that.
Okay, so now we are moving out of the things I've tried and out of the things that are like quote unquote native to Florida, even though, like I said, you can buy plantain chips or tostones probably anywhere. And we're moving into just some like random candies.
Shit.
Some random candy I found at Publix, which Publix is a Florida grocery store. And by the way, love me some Florida.
Winn-Dixie's from Florida.
That's another one. And I found a bunch of candies that I don't know the specific origin of where they're all from, but I've seen them around at like special, like Rocket Fizz and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've seen all of these candies that before.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And the first one we're starting with is, you don't know Rocket Fizz?
No. Not off the top of my head.
What's the place on Del Mar?
Is it Rocket Fizz?
that's
I've
what
never
it's
been
called.
in it. I've just only
really?
seen it. Yeah.
That just seems like somewhere that you would have gone a lot when you were
You're right.
in 8th grade.
No, you're right.
You did go there, didn't
No,
you?
I didn't. But you're right. It was someplace I severely wanted to go.
Why couldn't you go there?
I wasn't the one that drove there.
Don't let somebody, around this time of the year, folks, don't let somebody tell you what to do.
Well, I mean, it was just like, I don't know. I was the only one that seemed to have interest in getting to Pocket Fizz.
But they have a lot
Go
of
ahead, yeah.
they have a lot of foreign candies there,
Yeah.
and wow, that comes so much louder. They had a lot of foreign candies at Publix, which surprised me, and so I was like, I've never tried.
Have you
these.
never been to Publix before? They always have something. They always have something there. They always have something for it there to eat.
And I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy a bunch of these candies, even though they're not like specific that you could only buy here. but I've always wanted to try them. So the first one is Turkish Delight,
Afternoon delight.
which is a candy bar. No artificial colors, same great taste is what it says here. Turkish Delight, delicious milk. Turkish Delight wrapped in delicious milk chocolate. It's in a nice pink pussy lip colored candy.
Wow.
What else? How else would you describe that color? What would you say that color is?
It's
Pink, like.
what?
What else is pink?
Vest?
Vest. Like a vest?
No, vest. Like cola. Like
It's
vest.
only pink?
Do you want me to take?
No,
a
we're
bite
gonna
out?
cut it out.
Oh, okay. It looks like it would be like toffee. That's what I was
Well, it's
thinking.
gushy. It's got a.
It's all kinds of gushy.
It's like a chocolate gusher, pretty much. So I'm gonna just cut a hunker off here because we got a couple candy bars to go through. Ooh, I already am confused. Have you ever heard of Turkish Delight before? So it's not. I don't think it's usually wrapped in chocolate. It's usually whatever this stuff is on the inside. I was gonna cut this out. You want that whole piece? Yeah. All right. And I had always known about Turkish Delight from the movie Narnia because they talk about it in there. But it's usually like
oh yeah.
it's usually this like gooey gunk with like powdered sugar on the outside. I've never had it.
It's just gelatin.
Oh no, that's bad.
What is that flavor?
Old people.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's like an off peach flavor.
Ooh,
Super gelatin.
that's bad. With the chocolate? Ooh.
You're spinning out?
No.
Oh, okay.
I can't just go waste.
This
It's
isn't
such
horrible.
a small serving. I think it's horrible.
This isn't bad, but the texture is bizarre.
Let me wash it down with some beer. Maybe that'll help.
The one that tastes like feet.
I got that. I gotta go through that.
I know. It's one the one that tastes like feet.
Not yet. This is the one I drank out of. This is iguana bait. I stole some. Moving swiftly on from that grossness.
As well, it's just bad. It's just cheap chocolate.
Yeah, the chocolate's not even good either. I don't even know what brand. Fries, apparently.
Yeah.
So next up, we have one
Fry's
that I've...
Electronics.
Right, exactly. We have one that I've heard of for a long time by Nestle called Coffee Crisp. So at least we know the chocolate will be good. I've heard this one's supposed to be really good.
Really?
Apparently.
This might be my new obsession, Carson.
'Cause you
Be
do like
careful.
coffee.
I like coffee flavored things too.
We're going to have to go all the way to Rocket Fizz to get it because they don't just sell it in any old corner store around here. So it's a nice...
And you know,
it's
I'm
a
not
light-
allowed. I'm not allowed over there anymore.
You're not allowed at any
Yeah.
candy stores. It's a nice light log in a
I
nutter,
let out one of those earlier.
in a Nutter Butter shape. Let me just lick it. Let me lick the whole thing.
Lick up and down its length, would you?
God, you would just love to watch me do that, wouldn't you?
Stop.
All right, I'm gonna. This is like a wafer.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Grab the wrapper and read to the audience what it is. I'm gonna saw through it.
Wafer bar with coffee cream center flavor with other natural flavors. 260 calories per jar. See nutrition information for saturated fat content.
I think you're gonna love this. That's my guess, because you like that coffee buzz from Ben and Jerry's.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about
How'd you
that.
forget about that?
Well,
You said it to me 18 times. How could I forget it?
Well, I mean, repetition isn't, practice doesn't make perfect.
It's got a nice gooey center. Oh, I didn't even
Ooh.
show the beer cans yet.
This smells good already.
I smelled it while it was in my mouth.
Yup. Holy fuck, I'm going to need to go get some more of this.
What's yours? It's
Really
like
good.
an even better Nutter Butter. Nutty Bar, whatever those are called.
It's like,
Nutty Pot.
I already really like those strawberry wafers, those fucking, like
you know what I'm
vanilla-
talking about? The Little Debbie
Yeah.
Nutty Bar?
Those are, no, not the Nutty Bar. I know what you're talking about with the Nutty Bar, but I really like the wafers. that they
Do you
have.
not like Nutty Bars?
They're okay. I kind of got old. They got old. I don't know why, but to me, it's just kind of like they're okay. I don't know.
Mm,
They melt in your hands so quick if you don't put
they
them in
do.
the fridge.
I can feel this one melting in my
Yeah.
fingers.
So like, but like but you know what I'm talking about, like the strawberry. Or
Yeah,
like
oh
the-
yeah, of course.
Like those
They're
wafers.
like $1 for like
Yeah,
75 of
yeah,
them.
those are awesome.
Just chemicals, but it's so good.
I love it.
No, they're
It's so
great.
good. I love those, and that tastes like a better version of that.
I will definitely agree.
Doesn't
Yeah.
taste like coffee though.
I
It
will
tastes
say
like,
that
tastes like
coffee smell.
yeah.
No coffee
no
taste
coffee
at all,
taste.
which is a little disappointing, but I get it.
It tastes like a better version of the chocolate wafers they have. Those
Right.
the chocolate like wafers that are $3 for 150.
Right.
Let's
No,
just
that was
keep
very
raising it.
good.
Yeah.
I really like that. So next up we have why you like peeking around. He's so nervous.
Hey, I'd
I'm
like
gonna
to know
pull-
if I can have some more.
Next up we got a Glock 19 for him. Next up we have. This is the reason I started buying all of these candies is because the name of this one was so funny to me.
Gum Guzzler.
It's called a cum guzzler. It's called a sussy. It's pretty cool. It's another Nestle one, and it's definitely another wafer bar. So we have a sussy here. Sorry, I'm not like showing any of these.
Is this
I don't think.
Among Us? Imposter? Is this the
The
imposter
Turkish
from
delight
Among Us?
wrapper.
Stop posting about Among Us!
These are the Tostones.
Do you see the small head
Gavin,
on
show
the
that beer
floor?
to the camera so they can
Have
see
you
the
ever
can.
heard of Among Us, Gregory?
That's the good beer. This was the stinky feet one. Ugh. Sorry, I keep forgetting to show things off. I'm just so excited. So let me open this sussy up. It either is broken or it's just in like 2 layers.
I'm gonna need to see proof.
My money's on the layers. So this one is a.
There's something about saying like my money's on is just so like.
My money's on.
Yeah, my money's on that it's in 2 pieces.
So we got Galeta Relena con. Oh, wrong line. Wafer with chocolate. Wafer with chocolate flavored filling. So it's probably very similar to the coffee crisp. Is that what it was called? I already
Yeah.
forgot. But it feels like it's
Cocoa
more.
Puffs.
It feels like it's like those wafers. Oh shit, Gavin's coming. Oh god, clean up crew. My money's
Bring
on.
out the mop.
My money.
Bring out the mop.
Okay, so it is broken, but not in the
it
way.
is broken.
Fuck! I'm done. That's it.
This is broken.
I'm calling the TSA tomorrow. Oh, it scared me. All right, so
Give me that.
this might be the most excited I've seen you in a long time. Oh, you're gonna want to. I'm like pulling something out over here and keeping it down. You're like, well, what is it? Please just show me. Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh man, if there's something I'm a sucker for, it's fucking wafers.
Give me that. Come on, give me that. Come on. All right. Grab a strong hand.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be so good.
I love how excited you are about all this.
this is all really good.
If you want to know how to get to Gavin's heart,
It's anything sweet that I've never had before.
your genitalia will not do it.
Yeah.
You just give him candy. All right, here we go.
It's a party in my mouth.
I'm sure it is, buddy. I'm sure it is. I will say,
I like a coffee one.
yeah, I think it tastes too much like the dollar wafers.
Yeah, this is a very cheap version of it.
It's fine. That's good.
The
I
chocolate's
dig it.
really rich.
Yeah, it's definitely real chocolate, but
Yeah.
like the chemically wafer is still there. It's definitely a
I
chemical.
love the chemical wafer.
You ever listen to that band, the Chemical Wafers?
My Chemical Wafers.
My Chemical Wafer.
Uh-huh.
Next up, we got. Wait, actually, you know what? We should do this one. This actually is another native Florida thing that I have not.
You already
I had
described
not-
what it is to me, and I really already know I'm not going to like this.
I'm
going... hold on.
This is all right. He's got to go. It's not a wafer. It's not a wafer. He's out of here.
I'll be right back.
Take your time. So this one, I forgot the brand name of it. I honestly wasn't even gonna like put this into the taste test, but then last second I was like, why not? It's a coconut patty, which sounds more interesting than it actually is because I had never had one. I just bought a box of them at the airport for fun. Minecraft. And they come in a variety of different flavors. There's original, and then there's... Oh, did you close the door? No. And then there's... I think there's like a mango, but then there's key lime. So I'm like, I love key lime. That's from Florida. And so I bought them and then tried them that night after I got blasted. And and even in that moment, I was like, these are not very good.
I mean, I really
They're
like
dry.
I like key lime pie from Florida. But
When have you ever had a key lime pie from Florida?
I've been to Florida multiple times.
Have you been to the Keys?
No.
Didn't think so.
I've been to Destin. What's on the bottom of this?
Chocolate.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's chocolate and it's like coconut cream.
Okay.
It just gets very dry after a while.
It's not bad.
And the lime kind of is not the best.
The coconut. If there's one thing you should know about me, Carson, is that I used to really like coconuts. Now I don't.
Why don't you anymore?
Because all the shit that coconut tastes ended up tasting like coconut. I don't really like the taste of coconut. It's very bland.
The only coconut thing I really actually enjoy is Almond Joy or Mounds.
I bet you do like some Mounds. I love this royalty-free music. Did you make this on GarageBand?
Yeah, I've been cooking it up. Liar! I thought that was in the song. I was like, that's a little odd.
It's so cold.
It is cold down here. So that's everything I bought in the Keys.
Finally.
Some related to down there, some not. And Blake had told me, Florida Blake, in case you don't know, had told me
The guy looks
that
like Rex Orange County.
apparently, what a way to put him down, huh? Just because I have other friends means you have to put them down.
Makes me feel better about myself.
I get it. I mean, I get it.
Listen, I have 7.
Oh, this is the Sims song.
I have 7.
Duffer. Boy, daughter, by for my son. Going guy by smank it by again. Do a pino. You're a big Rex Orange County fan?
Well, there's that. But I have at least 7 celebrity lookalikes that I've been told. So, I think he can handle one celebrity lookalike okay.
I see. The only problem is like all the celebrities I know are attractive, and you're like not. So
Right. No, I know.
what celebrity could you be?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Wallace Shawn.
Bubba Wallace.
So Blake, Florida Blake, had told me. Sorry, trying to peek over. Had told me that they recently in Miami opened up the brand Billionaire Boys Club, BBC.
Whoa.
Don't even.
Have I?
There's a brand called Billionaire Boys Club. They've been around for a long time. Pharrell pushed them back in the early 2000s when he was first popping, and they're still around and they still do some cool stuff. But they just opened a flagship store,
Brick and Morty store.
Brick and Morty in Miami.
Brick.
And it's
brick,
this
brick,
huge,
brick.
awesome looking, cool place on the inside and outside. The artist Daniel Arsham designed.
Oh, I like Daniel Arsham.
Yeah, he designed a bunch of stuff. He designed this big astronaut that I'll show you. That's made of
Stone.
Yeah,
who knows what it's made
got
of.
stoned.
Crystals or some shit.
But he told me in the back of BBC, you got to talk to this guy. His name's Ronnie. Same Ronnie. No, there's in the back of BBC.
Donnie's the guy that rolls them really
Johnny,
tight.
God damn it. Get him mixed up. I just saw him too. In the back, they have 2 vending machines. One of them's filled with Japanese candy, and the other one's filled with I think Japanese soda, I want to say. And I was like, I literally just want to go to the store just to go to the vending machine. I'm not going to buy anything else.
We have stores in St. Louis that do this, right?
Do what?
That have Asian food. Asian special stuff.
What are they called?
World Market.
Are they words I can pronounce?
Yeah, World Market.
World Market's expensive.
Yeah, but I mean
and
they
their
have
selection
stuff.
is meh.
It's meh, but it's different.
Right. And I was just making a joke by saying I can't pronounce them. I didn't.
There's
That joke
there's
didn't have a
place
finish.
There's a place.
There's
in
a Mexican
Chesterfield.
place. There's a good Mexican restaurant. There's a
A
good
Mexican market, right?
Yeah, over on First Capitol.
Yeah.
And without geolocating myself, there is a really cool I'm gonna fuck it up, but like halal grocery store
Oh, halal.
right down the street from me. I'm pretty sure it's like that. That's like what you would call it. I've been there. That place is really cool. I need to go back there soon. But they have really cool things too.
They got, yeah.
But all of that like imported stuff gets kind of expensive anyway. And this was not cheap at all by any means. This was not cheap. And sorry.
Stop.
And so that's why I only bought one thing. And I wanted to buy the thing that was the most colorful, of course. And so I
Mushy,
think
mushy.
there is only a little bit of English on here. And the only thing that describes what it is they're assorted soda gummies.
Okay.
So
I can dig it.
there's like a blue flavor, a red flavor, and I'm assuming like a cola flavor.
Yeah.
But isn't this such cool packaging? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
The camera's probably blowing it out, but Candamania. It says Candamania. These don't have any wafers in it. I'm sorry. I hope you can understand. So this will be the last. Ooh. Right. Ooh.
Do you like
I haven't
it?
even opened it up and it smells fantastic.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Wow.
Wow. Is BBC allowed to sell these?
Is the BBC allowed to sell this?
It's just.
Yeah, it's like a vending machine. Give it a smell. We'll try all.
Oh.
I know, right, buddy? That's got a Barcelona right out of there, huh?
Wow.
Wouldn't you say that's bussin'?
Yeah, that's really
No
good.
cap. No cap on God, that's bussin', child. Bust it down for my boy, will you?
Bust it down for me. Quirky
Gavin, why
style.
don't you bust these down for me real quick? Why don't you get one of every flavor? Are you going to give me this one?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
You're busting it down for me? So we're going to do the cola one first. I'm assuming it's cola. They look
Yeah.
like little mustaches.
They're squiggly.
A little squiggly mustache. Here we go. Dinker and sinker, baby. Ooh. A little tough.
It's tough.
But I like it. Because like Haribo gummies are really tough, which I like. Gives you something to chew on. I'm usually just chewing on my gums until they're bleeding. Don't act like you can read anything on that. It's
I
good.
used to know the difference between the characters.
What? It tastes like, you ever had the root beer
Yeah.
gummies, the Haribo gummies? Speaking of Haribo again.
What is that, purple?
Pinkies? Pinkies or purples? Is there only 3 colors in there that you can see?
I think so.
You are colorblind, so maybe I shouldn't have you do it.
There's also a green one.
That's not blue?
Oh, you know it is blue.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
All right, Pinky, you going in. Ooh. Good flavor.
Yeah, it's good.
That's really good.
It's got the right amount of chew, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not like super soft, but it's also not like
Right.
super hard.
Not fruit snack.
What did we just have? Was that the pink?
Yeah, so not any blue. Not as blue as I'd like it.
The pink almost was like a grape flavor.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know what the blue could be. Who knows? Mystery.
Mystery flavor.
Blueberry. Very faint blueberry.
It's good.
Yeah, it's blueberry. You always put it in the back of your tongue. I'm not kidding.
It was really good. I like
Yeah.
those a lot. Well, those are mine.
1,
2.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I did not like the Turkish Delight at all. All right, yeah, man. So we tried them all.
Go ahead and tell a story about your neck, buddy.
Yeah, let's get to it, man. We're hour 20 now. Do you have to get anywhere anytime soon?
I ain't got shit.
Got you all night. I got you right where I want you. I am so upset that you didn't like these. You know what? Get the fuck out of here. These are great. If you, dude, regular plantain chips are good, but these Tostones, man, fuck.
Those stones.
Fuck. So now the moment you guys all came here for. I got you. I didn't break my neck. I did.
Not in Florida, though.
No, in Florida I had a great time because there's nothing bad that can happen in that state. Tell me one thing bad that happened in Florida.
Yeah.
I dare all the commenters.
I dare you.
I dare all the commenters. Tell me in the comments. Get off our fucking Wikipedia page where you make lies about me. And go to our comments and you tell me one bad thing that happened in Florida. Do you know what they're trying to do on our Wikipedia page? They keep saying I'm
gonna
bald.
have to reject. Gonna have to reject these.
They keep saying I'm bald. And they said the whole Florida story was make believe. I said I didn't go there. Gavin, the year, and I would appreciate your full undivided attention.
Yes.
The year was. We're gonna go back. You know, let's start over. The year was 2015. I was getting set up around this time a couple weeks ago, early December of 2015. I went under what is known as invasive back surgery. I was hoping for something else. And I to fix my scoliosis. Gavin's just gonna play with some toys while the grown-ups talk. Does he want to try the candy bar?
He wants a wafer.
You can have one.
Hey, Carson, can I get a wafer?
Can you ask all the interview questions as Frosty?
So why you have scoliosis, Carson?
Well, Frosty, you dumb fuck. Scoliosis is a genetic thing.
Who else in your family had it?
I think my mom does. Probably grandparents. It's just passed down genetically, and he's really whipping that thing, isn't he? And so I had scoliosis, known about it for a long time, and then after a couple months of just checking up on it, the way my growth was going, they could just tell that it was going to be really bad, worse than it already was. And they're like, and I kind of call their bullshit on this, but they're like, oh, you're going to be done growing soon anyway, so why don't we get you set up for surgery? Which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that because like my body feels different than it did at that time in like a growth way, and I don't know. That's all conspiracy.
Would you say a growth way?
Yeah, it's very growth. It's really disgusting. You could say it's growth. And but anyways, that's all
so
conspiracy
good,
shit.
man. I got you.
It was anyways, that's all conspiracy shit. That doesn't really matter. So the year was 2015. I'm going under the knife for back surgery. And they put 2 rods in my back starting from the lower part of my back, very lower part, not all the way down, and then going up to right where kind of like the top of my shoulder vertebrae. I don't know. It meets like right where
you're the one with scoliosis.
Right where your shoulder blades, or right here, like right where your shoulders stop.
So that'd be like your L3.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I used to know, but
yeah,
it stopped like right before where like your back becomes your neck, pretty much, and your pussy and your crack. Sorry to just say it, Frosty. I didn't.
Hey, the kids are watching.
I hope they're not. This is an 18+ only show. We get nude later on.
Is that part of the 4-hour special?
It is, unless we have a fight, which, in case you haven't checked the numbers, most shows are not 4 hours long, so there's a lot of arguments going on. So I get that surgery done.
About time.
It goes great. It's, a lot of healing process, whatever. 2 years later, this will all tie in later on. 2 years later, I I become a professional mountain biker.
Wow.
And your dad will tell you that I have every bike in the world. I have doubles of some of those bikes.
My dad.
I have doubles of many of the bikes and doubles of all the medals that I've won.
Frosty's dad.
That was a I think you should leave reference, but obviously you didn't get
Yeah,
it.
I have like actually triples.
Triples of some of the cars.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like that another Stingray's coming through. Looks like I'll have triples of those. We were just watching Florida. Blake and Maureen and I were watching that while I was down there. I love Florida. 2 years later, I become.
I don't. It's not very cold down there.
Yeah, you'd melt, and then maybe you'd shut the fuck up because you'd be dead.
Well, that's not very nice.
Well, sucks to suck. And you don't do much of that. Sorry, I have.
I'm a
weird-
snowman. I don't suck.
Well.
I melt, apparently.
Well, Frosty, make a hole. So, 2
You
years
ever heard
later.
of a snow job? So 2 years later.
So 2 years later, Frosty, thank you.
Sorry.
I've had a snow job. We don't need to bring it up. Oh shit, his hat came off. Oh shit, he's bald. That bald fuck. It's like Tim Pool. Like what's under there?
Yeah.
2 years later, I get into
What's
mountain
inside?
biking. My
Right.
son. I get into mountain biking. Pretty well into it. Like I did it for a while
He
in
was
the
in
early
deep.
in the early part of 2017, and then I kind of got out of it later on, like during the summer for whatever reason. And then my friend, shout out Nathan Sneller, in early December was like we would talk about mountain biking, and then finally we were like, okay, let's set up a date to go do it.
Finally.
To go do it.
Right. In the forest.
In the forest. And so there is a mountain bike park, so to speak, somewhat close to us that we were like, okay, let's meet here, December 16th, 2017. Mountain bike, whatever, that was it.
Saying this.
And so it had been a couple months since I had been on the old hog. And so I didn't, I like felt good on it, but it was taking me a minute to kind of loosen up, right?
You're all
So
stiff.
on our first lap, we were coming towards the end, which has a couple of features in it. Now, by features, I mean like,
Mud puddles.
well, not really. Well,
No.
I guess that could be a feature, but it's like man-made features.
Okay.
So
a
like,
ramp.
like dirt jumps or stuff like that. And a lot of times there will be these like kind of wooden plank type ramps or like bridges. And they're just like made with like, 2x4s that are kind of set up like almost like a deck, like a short or wide deck, big deck. And
Big dick.
they have this feature there that may or may not still be there. I don't know. I haven't been back since that.
They like cut down all those forests.
They really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't trauma. It like
So this is where it happened.
this is where it went down. There's a part where it slopes down into like a little bit of a valley before it goes up on the next side. Very small area. And it's, like 3 foot drop in total of elevation. And there's a wooden feature on this little hill. And it's a short, narrow bridge, probably about like this wide, enough like a couple tire lengths wide. And it's probably about as long as a bike. And it goes up slightly. And so like at the very edge of it, you're probably 3 feet off the ground. Not very far. Not very far at all. Probably not even 3 feet. And then it goes down into a slope onto flat ground. And I'd done it before. I'd done it many times, and it was like, it was like what it was still nerve-wracking to do it, but it was like I'd gotten used to it. And so first time back after a while, it's
I
like,
know where this goes.
I hope you do. I was like, oh, fuck it. Like, it'll be fine. I'll do it. Because I think Nathan and I were talking about it, and he was like, oh, I don't do that. And I wasn't like trying to show off or anything, but I was like, oh yeah, I can do it. I'm like, I haven't done it in a while, but whatever. So he's behind me. I go up the slope, feeling a little bit shaky because I'm nervous, but I was like, whatever, just go for it. Who gives a fuck? And then I'm like flat with my bike on the wooden feature. And then I start going to slope down, and I got a little wonky, and my tire slips off of the right side, which is like into the woods, and the left side is like where the actual trail is. So I start veering off, and instead of the smart thing to do at that point is to dismount the bike onto the side or try and, if need be, because the tire did go down far enough, try and jump over the handlebars, which is, I don't think I could do that. And so that starts happening. And instead of doing either of those, I panicked and then just like white knuckled the handlebars, because I was just like, I'm just going to hit and then I'm going to abruptly just bring the other side down and I'll be fine. But the drop off was more than I was expecting. And so instead of just going to flat, the front tire goes off, and then I had enough momentum that my body kept going forward, but my tires did not. And so, like, if this is the bike, I'm sitting up here, it just, like, not slowly but fast goes forward. I flip over, probably like fall 3 to 5 feet onto, I don't want to gross you out, but onto the back of my head. I had a helmet on, and like that was pretty much, like, I flipped over enough that like the back of my head hit the ground first. And then instead of my momentum continuing forward to flip me fully forward right away, I landed on the back of my head, and then my body, like I said, instead of continuing forward, just like folded at my neck, like right where my shoulders are, which, in case you don't know, is where my spinal fusion begins for my back surgery. And I just fold, and then the rest of my momentum comes forward, and I flip all the way around, and then I land, and then I'm laying on my back. And Nathan, God love him, I didn't hear him laugh, but he told me afterwards, he was like kind of smiling because he was like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened. Until I was like pretty much screaming in like agonizing pain. And that's when he was like, oh shit, this is serious. And so, I'm like laying there for a minute, and I was like, fuck, that fucking hurt. Like, that really fucking hurt. And I'm just like screaming, and I'm like finally catching my breath. It didn't knock the wind out of me, but it was just like in so much pain that I couldn't even like breathe or like say much. So I'm like, yeah, it just fucking hurts. Like, it's just like, it's like all through here it hurts and yada yada. And so I was like, well, I was like, let me lay here for a second. And I was like, okay, why don't you help me sit up? And so I think he just like grabbed my arms or something and started lifting, and just like lifted me up. And it took a while to get me to sit up. And I just remember being like, I can't move my neck. And I was like, I hope I just pulled something, but I don't know. It hurts. And it's not like it hurts to move it, but I couldn't move it.
Yeah.
And that was like really weird. And I was like, okay, this is like obviously not good. And I was just like, because usually like you hurt something, you think it's worse than it is, and the pain goes away and you're perfectly fine. So I'm like waiting for that to happen. That's not happening. I can feel my fingers getting tingly, like just the tips of my fingers getting tingly. And I'm like, okay. And then like, of course, thoughts start going through my head, and I'm like, okay, maybe I just like bruised my spinal cord, or maybe I just bruised something. Like I didn't know what I was thinking, but I was like, I just know that this hurts a lot, and I can't move my neck, and I probably should go to the hospital. And so I get my phone and I call my dad, and I was like, hey, I'm out on a bike ride with Nathan right now. I just like flipped over the handlebars and landed like in a way that like hurt my neck. And I was like, I don't know what happened. I can't really move my neck. Like, it just really, really hurts. And my dad, who is an avid cyclist and isn't as much so as he used to be, or maybe he is, I don't know, but he's an avid cyclist, and he always has been, and he's gotten in many accidents with cars before. And so I was like, I knew he would know what was going on and, figure out what to do. So he was kind of like, it's not that he like didn't believe that it was bad, but I also probably wasn't selling it enough that I was in enough pain, because it's like, I'm not 6 years old. I'm not going to be screaming and crying even though I wanted
Call
to
on
be.
your
'cause Dad. And so he was
Can
like,
you pick me up?
because he's like, okay, he's like, can you stand up? And I was like, I haven't tried it yet. I'm like, it was hard enough to sit up. And so while I have him on the phone, Nathan helps me stand up, and it hurt, of course. And I was like, yeah, I'm up. I'm like, I still, it still just doesn't feel right. I can't really bend over. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm out on a bike ride right now. He's like, I'm a couple miles out, so I'm going to call your mom and have her come pick you up. And I was like, okay. So Nathan and I are about a mile from the head of the trail. From civilization. From the head of the trail. And where our cars were, where's our cars are. And literally the only place that, like, where you can get picked up at.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the only other way you could get through there is if, like, helicopter, which I don't know where they would land, or the paramedics came down and then pulled you out on a gurney through the trail, which would have been fucking nuts.
Took you out on a bike trail that way.
They hook their bikes onto the gurney and just ride, and then just fucking do all the jumps. And it was.
You ever played Happy Wheels?
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
Real life is a lot like Happy Wheels. Can you hit it again? I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep making you do it. Gavin saw me playing Happy Wheels one night. It was a long night.
Drink to that, brother. Yeah, maybe not that.
Just power through it. And so that's what we did. So the trailhead's a mile out. He picks up my bike and hands it to me, and so like it was actually kind of good because I could kind of just put all my weight onto my handlebars to walk my bike, to walk my bike out.
To flip over again.
Right. So he rode in front. I think he rode in front of me or behind me. I can't remember. I just walked nice and slow out of there. Again, the whole time, not even trying to move my head, which ended up being a good thing. I'll explain later. But we get out of the trail finally after like a long mile walk, and my mom is there as soon as we're walking up, and she will tell me all the time that I was just like pale, like I was just like stark white, and she knew like in that moment,
like me.
Right, exactly like most people go up to Gavin and they're like, "Are you okay?
Yeah,
is everything okay?" But that's not how I normally look. I'm big and red and green and blue all over.
Rotund.
I'm rotund. Yeah, I like lost 50 pounds in the span of 2 minutes. And she was like, she knew in that moment something was wrong because her
motherly instincts.
Her demeanor changed at that moment.
Yeah.
And again, this is like joking later on. She told me that, and she's gonna be mad that I'm even saying this, but she said that like whenever my dad called her and said, "Can you go pick him up?" She was in the middle of wrapping Christmas presents. She was like, "Really? I gotta go do this, and then I gotta lock the dog up because Louis was still younger at the time because he's gonna chew up everything."
Was he that old?
Or not Louis?
No,
sorry.
not Louis.
Wait, who was
Cooper?
Why did she have to?
Cooper just had to go into his room or take him inside, bring him inside.
I don't remember what it was. Maybe because Cooper would eat stuff anyways. Sorry, I forgot that was Louis. That was way after.
Yeah. I was gonna say I took care of Louis. Whatever is it?
Right, which was 2020 when we got him. Wait, 2019.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who gives a fuck? Why did you bring that up?
Sorry.
So Cooper would eat stuff, and she was like, "Pick it up, or the dog was gonna get to it." Yeah. So she was like mad that she had to come pick me up, and then so like she went from
like
kind of not pissed, but just annoyed.
Yeah, just like ticked off
to being like, "Oh shit, something's not right."
Yeah.
And then so like she carefully gets me into my van, which is not the car she drove because she knew it'd be way easier for me to get into the van because I did not want to move my neck at all.
Yeah. She's like, "How about you drive?"
You drive. And then so she just like, I lean the chair back and
crank the music up.
Luckily we were like 2 minutes from the hospital there. So get to the hospital, I get out, I walk in, and they're like, my mom still doesn't really know what's going on. So she's like trying to answer the questions for me, but then like also doesn't really know what happened.
And your ears are just ringing the whole time. They're bleeding.
And I'm just walking around. I don't know anything. I piss my pants. I don't know who anybody is.
You keep walking around the emergency room.
I go, "Hi, Dad, Mommy." And so they're like, I think I went and sat down. And then they're like, "Okay, well," once my mom kind of explained it to them, they came and brought me a neck brace to put me in. They put me in that just as like precaution. They still didn't know what's going on. I didn't either. And then we get a room pretty quickly because at first they're like, it could be a little bit before we get a room. And then like, I think they realized that something was really not right as well. I don't know how. Maybe because they work at a hospital. And they got
a sense for that.
They kind of know what they're talking about. So they get me into a room quicker than I was expecting. And
it could have been 3 hours at this point, but Carson would have no idea.
Right. And it's like, well, not yet. We'll get to that in a minute. But this is like just your typical blue collar hospital.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
just
it
like
really is.
it's just a common emergency room at like a random hospital.
Yeah.
Which is not where I had my back surgery done. That was at the Children's Hospital in St. Louis. It's like the specialty hospital, yada yada.
You heard all about it.
That'll come into play in a minute. All right, Donald. And I get in the bed, and then, and the whole time, my like arms were just
dead, super
uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like it didn't matter if I was
you
sitting.
felt like a Lego. You needed to get your arms and taken off.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm like, my neck is no longer hurting, but my arms just feel so uncomfortable.
They're
it was like
me.
I think we talked about this a little while ago, but I explained to you how like sometimes I'll lay in bed, or most of the time when I lay in bed after like a full day of work, I like keep moving my legs and I can't stop moving my legs, and then my legs start getting sore because I can't stop moving them.
Yeah,
it was like that. Yeah, it was like it was that, but in my arms, and just like turned up to 100.
Yeah,
like it was just like just imagine the most uncomfortable, not like
you still can't move your neck,
not like pain, not like sharp pain, but just this like weird like uncomfortable soreness that's just like fucking miserable. And so like
you're like, I really want to crack my neck.
So like that was what kept going through my head when I was laying in the bed at first. It's just like my arms are just so uncomfortable, and they're like, okay, we're gonna get some,
they tie you down.
We're gonna get you some pain, we're gonna tie you down, we're gonna get some pain meds into you. And so I think they either gave me Dilaudid, or it might have even been, I think it was fentanyl. I think it was, because that was the first time that I was like, I had heard of fentanyl, because it wasn't as popping as cool as it is now. And so like once that kicks in, which is pretty quick because they IV'd it.
Yeah.
I finally could like just be comfortable, and it like took a minute, and then I was finally comfortable, and that's when like the time starts going by weird. And that from that point on, once that kicked in, like 3 days or like a week went by like that. Like from that moment on, I was on drugs for like almost a week straight. So like
they put you in rehab immediately after this,
right? Because I was I'll get to that. That comes in later in the story. Not the rehab. I didn't go to rehab, but it has to do with drugs. I talked about it before. Pooping.
Yeah.
I can't poop on. I don't like drugs because I can't
poop on command.
I don't like drugs because I can't poop. And they used to be able to poop all the poop you had in a month, and it used to come out of like a log.
Big old nasty.
I used to play with your little poop man.
Little poop
with
friend.
like a sword. So I'm in this blue collar hospital, trying to get married.
Yeah.
Trying to have a typical blue collar wedding.
As you do.
And I think they did. Well, I know they did. I know they took an x-ray at that point, and they're like, okay, you have, what I had was a hernia. It was completely unrelated. No, what I had was one of my discs was slipped out to the side, and then either that one or the one below it was fractured all the way down, but it was still in the same place, but it was completely fractured. Oh, and then I had another piece of, I think that like the top one. So if like you got the cream center, like an Oreo cookie, the top one just had a chip taken out of it. And I think the bottom one was the one that was like, took the brute force and actually cracked.
It's cracked, yeah.
So they're like, your neck's broken. And I said, all right, let's get out of here. And so I went home.
Sounds good.
No, so at that point we were like, I think my parents were on the phone with the people from the Children's Hospital, because like I had deduced at this point that literally the only, like, if I didn't have my spinal fusion surgery, I would have landed on the back of my head, and then the force would have made my spine roll naturally, and then like it probably would have hurt, but I wouldn't have broken my neck. But because of what happened is that
It just like stopped.
yeah, because my neck can bend and my lower back can bend.
Yeah, but anything in
But
between,
yeah,
it's like
everything in between is two rods. It's stiff as a board. Like literally,
can't
yeah,
do, like
cannot move it at all.
whenever he like bends over, like we joke. Whenever you had
Yep.
first gotten your spinal fusion surgery, I remember
Bending
joking
over
that,
at a
yeah,
right angle.
I remember you bending over at a right angle, and I'm like, okay, now like relax, and
Right.
then, like you relax, and you were still like sitting straight.
Because that's the thing is like, I always get comments about people being like, "You have such good, like." I'll
You have
be
such
sitting
good
there and they're
posture.
like, "You have such good posture." I'm like, I don't have a choice. I tell that everybody now. I'm like, I literally don't have a choice, and then I tell them why. And I said it's because of Henry Winkler. But so what happened is whenever my neck bent, what I think happened is that the force, instead of being able to bend more, hit those rods, and then just like the force went to wherever like the point was, and then just like
the weakest
exploded.
point.
Yeah, it went to the weakest point and it just like, quote unquote exploded.
Yeah.
And so my parents were on the phone with the children's hospital people telling them what's going on, and because it had to do with that, and they're also like, these people can't check if my surgery is fucked up from 2 years ago. So they're like,
There are no specialists.
No, they don't know shit. They're blue collar people. They're
What do
not
they
the
know?
high top tier people. So they're like, we can do the surgery here. We have doctors that can do the surgery. But then Children's Hospital's like, we can do it here. And my parents made the correct decision of being like, let's go to the Children's Hospital to do the surgery. And, we know all the doctors there. It'll be a lot better. Like no offense to these people and yada yada.
No
So
risk.
I think they sent a Children's Hospital ambulance to come pick me up. And it was a Maybach. And so they come in and they transport me, and that was the
It was
first
a
time
G-Wagon.
it was a fucking G-Wagon.
Gold plated and everything.
It wasn't even like situated for like fitting a gurney in, but they made it work, and it was
They had that shit
uncomfortable.
customized.
It was uncomfortable, I'll tell you that. They load me in, and it was like weird.
Boxy.
Yeah, roomy. First time being in an ambulance or riding in an ambulance like that was really weird. No lights or sirens.
Just
And of
quiet.
course there was like traffic too,
Yeah.
and it was like. Anyways, we get down there.
You're rolling up and down the
Yeah.
the stop, like they'd stop and you'd roll forward. They'd accelerate, you'd roll back. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, they like my feet. Oh, they don't have you tied down at all.
No.
No brakes.
And my
on.
mom was back there, and she could have stopped it,
Yeah.
but she was too busy reading her newspaper. She was reading the Sunday Times. Bonk! Oh!
She was doing the New York Times crossword puzzle.
Every time the bonk would happen, she'd look up and everything would be fine.
Yeah.
And then she'd look back at it again, and then I'd roll forward. Bonk! Oh! It's just the same
Three
cycle. over and over.
Stooges all over again.
So we get to the Children's Hospital downtown St. Louis.
You
and
numbskulls.
Why you oughta. And then when I was trying to yell at them, I had my hand out the door, and then they slammed the door on my hand. Oh, no.
No, what are you doing?
You'll never hear the end of this. So they get me out. They send me up into a room. And then however much time passed, I have no idea.
Because this entire time, everybody's wondering, where's Carson? Where's Carson?
They couldn't find
They
me.
couldn't find him.
They had lost me.
I had heard that. I thought you had gotten airlifted out
No.
of there.
Out of what?
Out of like the
Fingered Island?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Where'd
yeah,
you hear
well,
that from?
I don't know.
I never got
It was just
airlifted.
rumor.
I don't think they would have been able to. That's what my parents wish they would have done, which I'll get to. I'll get to that later. So I think even before I went up to the room, we went to get like special
Some ice cream or something.
We went to a Chick-fil-A. I don't know why. The guys were hungry, and I don't blame them. It's hard work. It's hard work lifting a 200-pound kid. I was a big kid back then. I was 17, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. And legally could not drink, but I was.
I was fucked up. I was crossed as shit, boy.
That might be why I flipped over the handlebars, huh?
Anywho.
No, anywho. See you guys next week. So
You get to the hospital, you get checked into a specialist office.
Incorrect, Gavin. I don't know, but I think they took me to get X-rays first because they wanted their own X-rays because we don't trust the blue collar X-rays.
No, apparently.
So they get like a bunch of X-rays done there, and then I go up, and then this guy comes in whose name I can't remember for the life of me, but he was the nicest dude ever, but he was like very serious, and I just remember the only thing I remember him saying is I remember him walking in, and this made me emotional then, and I don't think it'll make me emotional now, but he just like looked at my parents and I and was like, he's like, you were like this close to either dying or being paralyzed.
Uh-huh.
And he like
said that.
Meant
Yeah.
that. He was
Yeah.
like, I remember him just being like,
This close.
you were this close to being like dead or paralyzed.
Yeah.
He's like, any wrong movement in the car, any wrong movement on your walk out, that could have been it.
Yeah.
Which is like crazy.
Yeah.
And like,
That's like
you
mic
know,
drop.
I believe in God. I'm sorry. I believe in God. And I'm not saying it's like, you know, when I say
the big boogeyman Santa Claus.
it was a miracle, I don't
Yeah.
mean it as a literal Jesus came down and changed the water into wine to make
Yeah.
sure I could walk out of the fucking trail.
Yeah.
But like it was a miracle in the sense of like that for some reason in my head was like, just don't move your
it.
neck
Yeah.
for whatever reason. And I didn't. And I probably saved my life. And somehow throughout sitting up and standing up,
Yeah.
which God bless Nathan for somehow doing that in a way that didn't fuck me up.
Yeah.
And then walking a mile out to get into my car to drive to the hospital. Nothing went wrong. But just him saying that was just like, that was fucking nuts. And
Yeah.
like, that is always something that will stick with me. It's just
Yeah.
like, and I try to always make sure I like don't take anything for granted because
Yeah.
of that. And I'm not like one of those dudes who like is like this self-help specialist now because of, well, I really went through it, man. You know what? I was that close to being dead. But like, that is always in the back of my head
Yeah.
thinking about that. Cause I'm like, you know, got to count my blessings
Yeah.
for everything that's happened because who
Every
fucking
time you
knows?
cut the turkey, you think about how thankful you are.
Every time I sit down at the turkey to cut my table, I'm just thinking about my neck.
Yeah.
And I'm wringing the neck of the turkey
Yeah.
and fucking snapping it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just like such a crazy moment to hear this fucking quack of a doctor.
Fucking
to hear this-
nutso nutbag.
this nut jerk. And just to like hear him tell me that. And like
Yeah.
that was just crazy. Because we didn't know until that point we didn't know the true severity
Yeah.
of this.
Right.
And so from there on, I don't remember exactly how many days I was in there, but
They had you in isolation. It was
well,
prison.
hospitals are like a casino. There's lots of slot machines
and no windows
and no women.
to play tic-tac-toe with.
I'll tell you where there is women, and that's in Florida. Yeah, play tic-tac. Hey, good callback.
Yeah, that was good.
Don't understand it. So from that point on,
Wrong.
that night, they're like, oh, wait. Yeah, it had to have been that night.
It was
They're
actually
like-
3 months after. They're like, we just woke you up from a cova.
Cova. We just woke you up from COVID.
We woke you up from a coma. We can finally do surgery now.
I was like, all right, cool.
You shook the sleep off. You
can
shook
I-
the sleep off your head. You went,
I said,
"Ooh,
Doc, can I at least have a beer? Please, I know
let
you
me-
got a
let me
stash.
crack a cold one.
Doc, you are a literal lifesaver. So that night,
Do you guys
they-
smoke?
do you guys allow smoking in here at all? You can just like lace it with some ketamine, just
Yeah.
a couple puffs. So that night they're like, there's 2 ways we can go about this,
You could have a last dinner type event where we don't do the surgery.
which I would prefer.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot cheaper for us. Or no, they're like, we do this we do this surgery 2 types of ways. The way that is preferred and the easiest and the best is to go in from the front, which is weird that that's the easiest, but hey, I'm no fucking quack. Or the harder way that takes longer
The
to
way
heal.
they do it is they put you on your back and they get under the table.
Yeah, they have those like mechanic boards that they wheel out on. Squeak, 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 squeak.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing,
Yeah.
bing, bing.
And
Comes out, he's got like black tar and like cement all over his hands.
so what's the other option?
To go in from the back,
Yeah.
which takes longer to heal.
Hit it from the back.
Hit it from the back. So they're like, we can do this 1 of 2 ways. The easy way or the hard way? Pretty much. And so they're like,
I came here to chew ass and kick John.
kick necks. And so they're like, the way your neck is fucked up, we, as of right now, would have to go in through the back. I don't exactly know why, but they would have to hit it from the back. And they're like, but we think we can get it to where we can go in through the front, hit it from the front. And so what they did is they put me in a contraption system, which I kind of know how it looks like, but I was
they
so
lifted you up like from the shoulders. No.
Yeah, yes. But while I was laying down. So they actually had to they put me under kind of like general anesthesia, I think it's called. Towards like you're supposed to be awake, but I don't remember a fucking thing.
That's the point.
But they had to
That's like the weirdest thing is that like most of the anesthesia is like you're like awake, but like you don't remember.
I think anesthesia is the best drug, man.
Whenever I went under
surgery.
Whenever I went under my wisdom teeth, I was like, that was something. There's a lot of things that you can like do while someone's, and there's just a lot of trust there, and
right?
It's just like,
but I every time I felt
really good. I remember laughing my ass off before I went under.
I remember, we can talk about that later. I'm getting all over the place, but I've been put under like 5 times, and every single time, it's just like for some reason, it's just such a good feeling
just
when you wake up.
Yeah,
because it's just being forced to sleep.
You
don't have any dreams. Like you just like time just skips. And then when you wake up, it's like you can't even open your eyes, and all of a sudden, like you start coming to, and then you're good. And it's like, oh, I feel weirdly, oddly refreshed, but my foot really hurts now.
But God, my neck.
God, that gout. So, as far as I know, how it went is they had to like screw, and I still have the scars from them.
The screws in.
They had to put these like 2 kind of bolts.
Yeah.
Not into my head, like Frankenstein.
Against your head.
But like against it to the point where, like I said, there's
held
literal scars there.
Yeah, it like held it.
So it like hold that there, and there's stuff on my shoulders and like these crazy pulley systems that were like, just pushing in a way that would like
keep you stiff.
Hopefully just like slowly move that back into place. And so they did it that night, and sometime that next day, I remember waking up in this contraption system.
And you look
in the ICU, by the way. I was in the ICU for all this. And I remember waking up, my dad was there, and it was pitch black in there. And I remember him telling me what time it was. I don't remember what time it was. He told me because I asked him, I'm like, what time is it? And I was like, can you show me a picture of what I look like in this thing? And I don't know where that picture ever went, but he showed it to me, and I remember seeing it, but like now it's like, I don't know what the fuck it looked like. So at some point later that day or the next day, I don't remember. I think I was in that for a day. They're like, well, we're going to take you down after like a day or whatever and do some x-rays again to see if it's in the place we want it to be. And it wasn't, unfortunately. So they're like, okay, tonight or tomorrow or whenever.
Promise we know what we're doing.
I think we know what we're doing here. They're like, okay, we're just going to have to do it the hard way, which is fine, and go through the back. And I was like, whatever. I was like, it scares me thinking about them going through the front more than the back for whatever reason. Not that it would matter anyways. So they put me under. They do the surgery. Smashing success. I may say so.
Smashing.
And then I was in the hospital for, I don't even know how long after that, just healing up. Getting up every day to walk around.
And that was like over winter break too.
Yeah, that was the funny thing too that I forgot to mention. I think it was on a Sunday, like you said. I can't really remember. It might have been on a Friday.
I think it was probably a Sunday.
It was a Sunday because that
weekend.
You know what it was? Okay, so we had finals like
Monday, Tuesday.
Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday, Monday,
Tuesday, Wednesday, I think even.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my cough.
Need some water?
So luckily, my hard finals were out of the way, but I still had finals that next week. But I literally broke my neck and I couldn't take them. So I ended up taking those like when I got back that next semester.
I remember that, yeah.
Because luckily, like I was in good enough shape to go to school with this crazy neck brace on that I'll explain in a minute. But yeah, so anyway, it was just funny. That was right before finals, and it was like, got out of that, even though I didn't because I still had to take them. Stupid teachers. I hate school.
That made you drop out.
It did, dude. I had to drop out. So, yeah. So anyways, surgery's good. Goes well. They put me in what you would think is a standard neck brace, just regular padded plastic around it. But they needed a special one for more support. So mine was like a full chest plate that then wrapped around to my sides and then like a back plate. So it was like I had armor on. Mm-hmm. So like I couldn't really wear normal t-shirts. I had to wear like 2XL t-shirts pretty much, or just like have to suck it up with stretching the neck out. And it was right around the time I got really into vintage tees too. So it's like I couldn't even wear any of the ones that I wanted to. But yeah, so then it was just like from there, they were like 3-month heal process before you can get the neck brace off, which was like seemed crazy quick to me.
It seemed a lot longer in person though.
It felt a lot longer.
I was gonna say like it seemed a lot longer than 3 months, but I think that's just how time worked back then. But it was like it felt like a long time.
Time moves slower when we were kids.
That's true.
So now imagine being a kid or a teen like me, who isn't shy, but also isn't outspoken.
Yeah.
Not really a popular kid. I'm friends with the popular people. I'm friends with everybody, but I'm just kind of like, I just do my thing. And when I see my friends, then I'll talk. You know what I mean? And so just imagine being that kind of shy, a little bit reserved person to now just have like a big fucking bow on you.
Yeah.
And just like, and that's literally what it was. I just have this fucking giant, obnoxious neck brace on that I'm just like, gotta go to school with this now.
Yeah.
And have everybody stare at me, which is not the reason I
then
want
a couple
people to be
months later,
staring at
another
me.
Friend of ours also
Like right after
Yeah,
that,
just
around
like-
the same time,
yeah.
a friend of ours also broke his neck or
Yeah.
something and had to be in a neck brace, not as long as I did. But like that also made me feel better because I was like, okay, people can, point at him. And then people were like, what, do you guys do the same thing that you got into that? And I'm like, shut up, dude. You're not funny. But then, yeah. So then in March was finally when my, umpteenth checkup was. That was like, okay, we'll take the neck brace off.
See you in 2 weeks.
As long as you can move your head in the office, we'll be good. And that was weird too because like,
Yeah, it moved it since before the crash.
Not at all. Not even a little bit. And so they took it off and it just felt like my head was just going to fall off.
Yeah.
Like it was the craziest thing ever. And at first, like I couldn't bend far enough as they wanted me to. And then the doctor left in the office and I was like, keep bending, keep fucking bending it. Cause I don't want to wear that thing any longer. And so luckily I was all good. And I just had to wear, the other annoying thing was for 2 weeks, I still had to wear it to school, but then I could take it off when I was at home. And that was like right when we started tech week for the play. So I would go to school with it on, and then tech rehearsal was that evening, and then I wouldn't have it on. And people would be like, you're all good now? And I was like, well, kinda. You'll see me tomorrow in it, but like, this is just how it has to go.
Yeah.
But anyways, healed up, doing much better now. I'm still dealing with like weird shoulder pain and back pains and stuff that I think is just like from the various surgeries, and all of my insides are out of whack, and then like this weird chest stuff. So all of that still like pains me, but they don't even really know what that's caused from, but who knows? I keep telling them they're fucking quacks. But anyways, that is the story of how I broke my neck 5 years ago on Friday, December 16th. That is the harrowing tale of how it all happened. I'll open the room for questions.
So did you go to like therapy or anything like that? Like physical therapy?
I don't think I did. I ended up somewhat recently just dealing with back and neck pain. But they didn't, surprisingly, they weren't like, oh, you have to go through a couple months of physical therapy.
Right.
Which was kind of surprising. But it probably would have helped in the long run, but
do you ever feel your fingers tingle anymore?
No.
Okay.
Not that I know of. No, I don't think so. Sometimes if I'll like sit a certain way, but that's just like pinching a nerve off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank God. That was literally the worst part of it. I'm like, the neck part hurt, but like my fingers tingling and my arms just being sore was like a feeling and a pain I've never experienced in my entire life, and I hope to never feel ever
Yeah, I was
again.
gonna say that's not a normal feeling.
Yeah. And the other thing I forgot to mention is that whenever I did initially break my neck, I remember my chin touching all the way like down here, like fully like feeling my chest into my face, which is another feeling I never hope to feel again. And I remember hearing like a pop or a snap, and I thought it was just my bike, but probably was something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's the story. Now I never have to tell it to another goddamn person again. But I'm glad to share it, and I appreciate you listening to it. Any other questions?
No, I don't think so. It really did feel like a lot longer, though. I remember
it was.
I think it was just because we made fun of you so much for it. So
that was great, man. I loved it all. There's so many good. You know what
There's
I was watching
a lot of
last
really
night?
good like pictures and videos from it. It's so fucking funny.
I posted one for your birthday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You like holding a cup of water for me.
For the Super Bowl party.
Yeah,
the Super Bowl party where we watched Vic videos.
Yeah, we were watching Jim Baker Pocket videos.
And I remember at like pep games.
Yep.
I remember
during
like
basketball season.
Yeah, I remember just like having my phone on Snapchat and this like zooming in on you,
right.
And then you like snap over to me like fucking like Jason or some shit.
Bodies.
Yeah, Jason Voorhees or whatever.
Yeah, I was watching last night. I rewatched the UFC Ultimate Underground Fighting Gym video.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that video some of it doesn't hold up, but some of it really does. Like, I laughed so I forgot that we named it. That your name was Mark and my name was Marks with an S.
Yeah.
That made me
Mark and Marks.
bust out. Mark and Marks.
Yeah.
That made me bust out laughing, and I was like, "Fuck, we need to make another one of these because that video is so funny." But I was in a neck brace. Yeah,
shots.
I was in a neck brace, and then Gavin was gonna be my brother or my friend. But then you also had an issue with your neck, even though you weren't in a brace. But your like storyline was that you took too many cortisone shots that it stiffened up your neck. And mine was that I got in an accident, and then I showed the Afro Man ninja guy backflipping.
It was an accident. You were celebrating.
I was celebrating
like
something.
Yeah.
Like a skateboard contest or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like a wrestling thing.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I was celebrating after a match and I flipped over.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
You did a backflip. You tried to do a backflip and played it.
That, and then like the text that kept like popping up wrong on the screen and like correcting itself. Oh, that video is really funny. Yeah, we need to do another one. Because we got Spencer Shed coming soon. We can film one.
Oh, yeah, you're
That's
right.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'll bring back the old neck brace.
Yeah. It's really like Spencer and Sean's. It's not just Spencer's, but Spencer's. It's on Pepper's.
Right.
It's on Pepper's property.
I said what I said.
Wrong.
Why don't we move swiftly from that emotional bullshit into a little bit of a next door drama, Gavin, and then we'll wrap it up. This 2+ hour episode after next door drama and a little what you listening to, and we'll get the fuck out of here, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't it sound good for Mama's little boy?
Yeah.
So this week's this week's next door drama is titled Bible Study.
Don't forget that.
Yeah, I already got it. Okay. Thank you though. Try again.
Maybe next week.
Gavin, shit. Let me make sure I have this right because okay, no, I do. It's been a little bit since I looked at this. Gavin will be playing the character of Kelsey. I will be playing the character of Dewey. I'm just making sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then, sorry, just looking over again. And then we have a special appearance from our good friend Rod, who has a little line, who will be reading for the character of Mike. So without further ado, I'm going to hit the intro music and we're going to get right into it. This week on Next Door Drama. Excuse me.
Look, I know we live in a pre-religious area, but tell me why. At 10 p.m. last night, I went shopping at Walmart to buy a game for my son and was approached by a woman and asked if I was interested in joining a Bible study group. Now, I'm not upset about that in the slightest, but when I very politely declined, she demanded to know why I declined. And I put it simply, I am atheist and not interested in joining a Bible study. It was the fact that she backed away as if I was the devil itself. I was not rude. That's the opposite of devil right there.
It was before you said that.
I was not rude. I didn't invite her to anti-Bible study or whatever she thinks we do. And I matched her grace with the same energy. I meant no offense to her. Anyways, I think it's just a little odd to approach a lone stranger in the middle of the night to invite to your Bible study. And I didn't even get the game I was looking for because I felt a little cornered, so I kind of fled. I've seen church group posts outside of Walmart before, but this was a little new. Has this happened to anyone around here?
I've been thinking about this and what happened to you with the lady who approached you about a Bible study happening and if you wanted to come. Maybe her startled look was because she was doing something that she believed in with her whole heart. And she wasn't sure what to do when what she had hoped for didn't happen. Maybe somehow she believed that what she was offering was the greatest gift that she could for someone, and when it wasn't expected, it blew her away. At first, when I read your post, I was a bit upset at her making you so uncomfortable. But then it struck me that maybe she had her hopes shattered and she was gobsmacked.
As beautiful as that sounds, it sounds like this woman does this quite a lot at this Walmart. Sounds like harassment to me.
I think you overreacted. All you had to do is say no thank you and walk away. I've accepted an invitation like that years ago, and it was so enjoyable, and the fellowship and love was so fantastic. One of the best decisions I've ever made. And suggesting on this site that she needed to flee rather than just walk away, as I'm sure she only did rather than flee. Also saying the woman judged her to be the devil herself. Overreaction! But then she admitted the Christian woman acted gracefully after her overreaction. Lastly, I doubt it was the middle of the night.
I mean, I didn't leave the store. I just left that aisle, lol.
Sorry, y'all. For those defending this woman, I can't agree. I've been in church my entire life. My dad's a pastor. There's a time and a place for cornering someone on the back of a Walmart, ain't it? It's annoying, overstepping, gets off on the exact opposite foot you want by startling someone, and it's borderline harassment. If this happens to me, I will immediately think, cult! Get away, let me shop. I did have this happen to me in Target, but it was a guy looking for marks to get into the Amway Quick Star cult. Also, continuing the proselytizing on next door isn't the right time or place either.
Proselytizing?
Proselytizing?
Proselytizing? I've never heard of it. Go ahead, Rod.
Most companies just use the mechanical pickup on the side of their truck. If it's not inside TH container, it will be left there. My service allows an additional container for the same price. Just a thought.
Typical Rod. He just never knows what the story's really about.
This is how you pronounce
proselytize.
Proselytize. That's how you pronounce that, by the way.
Proselytizing?
It's converting or attempting to convert someone from one religion, belief, or opinion to another.
Okay.
I mean,
this guy's explanation. This comment is so convoluted.
It gets all over the place.
He's talking about, sorry if you're defending this, but I can't agree. But also, there's a time and a place. But also, it is weird. And also, that happened to me once before. And also, it is annoying. And also, I would think that it's a cult if somebody did that to me. But you shouldn't be defending her.
And also, basically what he's saying in that last sentence, the edited version, is that continuing to say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be an atheist on Nextdoor isn't the right time or place. That's basically what that's saying.
Well, wait, so what does proselytizing mean?
To convert or attempt to convert someone from one religion, belief, or another, or opinion to another. So basically, it's like, okay, stop trying to convince her that she's not atheist, or like stop trying to say she needs to come and be.
Oh, so he is. So he's also defending her.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's also defending the original comment.
And that edited part is edit just means he edited the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
So he could have gone back and made sense, but he did not.
He did not. Yeah.
And then
I
you
mean,
got Mike.
it is. I would probably be like, why'd you come to me?
Dude, there was. Can I just tell you? When I checked 2 days ago, there was 176 comments on this single fucking post.
Wow.
And like, there was so much good juice that this could have gone on for like an hour of just these fucking nutbags being like,
Jesus is the only way of healing.
And just being like, that's fine. Why are you so weird about it? You're the one who's overreacting. You're the problem, devil. 178 comments.
Wow. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, I mean, that's really weird.
Fucking
I've had
bonkers shit.
I would say the same thing about people coming up to me from Charter or AT&T.
Well, the Amway Quick Start cult, which is not that. It was I looked it up and it was kind of weird, but it's definitely not a cult. It's just a Ponzi scheme type thing.
Oh, well. MLM.
I wanted to say something really quickly about that. And I was just going to make this a bigger thing, but obviously I'm not going to because it's midnight. As a Christian with my own separate beliefs now that have changed quite a bit, that is like that among many things about Christianity is something that I've like since I was younger like hated.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that that, and especially in my church they would
Mission
have that
trips?
like no mission trips are fine.
Oh, okay.
But it was just
Mission
like,
trips, in my opinion, seem pretty bad on the surface.
I think you have a different idea. Yeah, on surface, I agree.
White savior.
Because they do have to do with this thing that I'm about to say, which is like, I hated that like they push so hard to be like, to be a good Christian means you have to convert other people, and that's a big part of your mission outreach is to go bring other people to see God, and you know, even being like okay with saying that you can force people into it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was always like, I don't like that. I don't. Like, because it's like...
I will say, I think that's something that I think just the Gen Z generation is kind of like, yeah.
Right.
We're kind of okay in doing our own thing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that way about anything. Like, I hate when people push shit upon me.
Yeah.
Just, like, let me, you know... If you come to me and are just, like, you tell me about it...
Yeah.
And, like, you wait for me to ask
questions
questions
about it. Or you're really passionate
it,
about it and you want me to hear you out on it.
Yeah, but don't
talk
try
about
and,
it.
like, just do it with
Change
the
my
purpose of
mind.
changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
And like I'm not really I'm not a stubborn person at all, but like that is something that just gets under my skin, and like I will instantly leave a situation if that happens.
Right.
I just wanted to say that. Anyways, Gavin, what are you listening to so we can go to bed?
So you asked me a couple.
So we can go to bed together.
You asked me a few weeks ago if I was listening to that one like album / EP by that band that I posted on my story a while ago for Dying Alone.
With the
basketball hoop, yeah. And I finally listened to it. It is American Pets' 2018 album, Doing the Best We Can. And I will say that it is a really good, just mellow album. It's only 20 minutes.
Nice.
So it's basically a EP, you know what I mean? Like it could just basically be an EP.
Right.
I feel like this
But
is
it's not?
It's classified as an album under Spotify.
Well, that's Spotify for you.
It's like their only album though. So like they have that. But yeah, I would say that these songs are really sad, really depressing.
Oh, really?
Birds of a Feather is pretty sad. Easy Said's okay. I like that one. I like all of it. Dying Alone's like definitely a standout on this EP though. Like there's a lot, like the mastering on it is way better than the first song. It's but I'm excited to see what they can do. I think this album shows a lot of potential for where they could go and a lot of potential for the band as a whole. So Yeah, I'll listen to more of their stuff, but they really don't have that much stuff. They only got releases from 2019. I don't know if they're still around or.
I'm seeing 2018.
Yeah, 2018, but their most recent one was 2019 and Leftovers.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, now I see 2019.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Interesting. But you said like indie alternative stuff. I'm
yeah,
trying
very
to see.
very mellow indie. Not like folky indie, but just very like indie rock, just like American.
Yeah.
Indie.
I was trying to see if I recognize any of these bands that they're like being related to, but I don't. Well, cool. Maybe I'll check it out. I like that sad boy shit. Oh, Peach Pit, I've heard of. Yeah, I don't know. I don't recognize any of these other off the top of my head. Well, nice. Oh, You've talked about Saint Motel, right? You've talked about Saint Motel, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you like them, or is that the band you don't like?
That's the band I like, where it's like.
Okay.
What
was the band that? Oh yeah.
We played in band all the time as a joke.
Oh shit. What was the band that opened up for Ghost that you didn't like? Just most recently. It seemed like it had Saint in it or something, I feel like. I can look it up too.
Open? Well, it was like Volbeat that opened for Ghost.
Yeah, that was not what I was thinking. But you didn't like them, right? You were like kind of eh.
Yeah,
on them?
they're very bland. Very
Yeah.
not, but they're not nearly in the same like area.
Of music genre?
No,
Of
nearly,
Ghost or of?
They're nowhere near that. They're not like metal or anything.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I mean, but Volbeat is. Volbeat's on that like same
Right.
Ghost stuff, but American Pets is very much not.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out which connection you were trying not to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I get a lot of bands mixed up in my head because my brain don't work too well thanks to my broken neck. Just kidding, that's not true. This week, keeping up with the Christmas theme. By the way, we should have announced this at the top of the episode.
I guess it is an EP. They announced it as an EP.
So Spotify just categorized it wrong because they're run by a bunch of commies.
Yeah.
Um,
They last toured in I don't think they're around. They last toured in August 2018.
maybe they've gone off the deep end. Fuck. Oh, what we should have said at the top of the episode, and I forgot to. Next week is our Christmas special of the It Takes All Kinds podcast. And nothing specific planned, but I'm sure we'll have fun ideas coming up for that. But stay tuned for that next week. That will be the final episode before Christmas, so we'll go out with a bang before the new year. But I bring that up to say that I've been recommending for the whole month of December leading up to Christmas, Christmas music. I'm a big Christmas music fan. And this week, I am recommending Johnny Mathis's first Christmas album from 1958, titled Merry Christmas. I do like Johnny Mathis quite a bit. His vocal range is really crazy because he can get really high up, but he can also get like these weird lows and go back and forth between those like super quickly. And his Christmas stuff is, of course, a hit, as much of these crooners have found out that their Christmas music does really well. And Johnny Mathis is fucking cool. He seems like I don't know anything about him personally. I think my parents saw him in concert at some point. But yeah, it's just a good Christmas album. The only problem I have with it is it's all the same tempo. It's all very slow, which for some songs is great. For others, it's like, ooh, this is dragging. Good album, though. Just a great encompasses the season. If you like Christmas music, check it out. And yeah, Gavin, fuck.
He's going to be at the Chumash Casino Resort on December 16th, whenever this episode comes out.
That sounds like a crooner thing to do. Isn't that crazy, man, that motherfucker's still kicking? He just released a Christmas album this year. This album that I'm recommending is not one of his first albums. This came out in 1958. What the fuck?
How old is he?
Fucking gotta be... He's gotta be like 30?
Possibly. He's 87.
Whoa!
Jesus.
I would have expected 90.
Yeah.
That's how old my grandpa is.
Well,
I'm
so
also-
my grandpa is.
He's also one of those like racially ambiguous people.
Yeah, he looks very, he's very in between everything.
I always thought he was black, and maybe he is black, but I'm seeing maybe he's Spanish American, Mexican American, African American, and Native American heritage. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I always was like, oh yeah, he's black. And then I started looking at pictures of him today again, and I was like, I don't know what he is. Not that matters. Sorry, that came off really weird, but I did it.
No, it's very racially
I truly did
ambiguous.
it.
Very racially ambiguous.
And I hope that's not
whenever he was
offensive,
younger-
but I'm just
when he's
I
younger,
didn't
he
know.
looked yeah.
Yeah, right? Now you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, it's getting in the late hours. We're not trying to be mean. We're not mean old racist boys.
Yeah, he released it on November 4th, 2022. Wow, look at that. Johnny
crazy.
Mathis, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And everybody else, we'll see you next week on the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Where's the music, dude?
Oh, sorry.
God. Continuity, Gavin? Come on, dude. What are you trying to get out of here? It's not like we've been here for 2.5 hours.
Woo!
It's hot.
Well, everybody, thanks for taking... That's really loud. Well, everybody,
That's fine.
thanks for tuning into the It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 93. We will see you next week for the Christmas special, as Carson has previewed. And be sure we'll talk more about the Drib Christmas special because we'll have had it already.
Right.
Looking forward to seeing you next week.
Hope you guys enjoyed this extra long episode. That's 2 long episodes in a row. It was a lot of fun with you, Gavin. I appreciate you letting me.
I sat my white ass down and I listened.
You did, man. And I appreciate you listening to me, and I appreciate you being engaging in my story. And Frosty,
What about me?
Frosty, you motherfucker. I swear
I
to God.
tip my hat to you, sir.
Yeah. Frosty, I bet you watch Tim Pool, don't you?
Goodbye, bye.